I'm not gonna say it. Flip
All
that.
right,
All right,
thank you
flip
guys for being here on time. Actually, this is like a very big group for being right on time, so I'm actually really impressed with you guys. So, the goal is to get you in and out of here as quickly as possible in about 3 hours. This is normally an 8-hour class. I've dwindled it down to about 3 hours, so I'm definitely going to be speaking fast. And I only included what I believe is the most important parts in this business planning clinic. So before we get started, just one quick administrative announcement that Jake has to make, and then we're going to get started.
Thanks. Has anyone in the room ever been on the, or did you guys go last month? So can you just give us a quick, what was fun lead for you? Just real quick. 2 seconds.
Well, okay, I didn't know that. Well, also, I think about a year ago with Riverton.
Okay. So, how would you summarize the class?
To me, was my impression is that gave me that push where stuff to be as do it.
Thank you. So it's a class built around mindset, built around wealth creation and character development years and years ago. As part of his mission to help children recognize those opportunities earlier, he started Keller Williams Kids Camp. And what that organization does is it brings the quantum leap class to teenagers, basically, from 17 to like 26-year-olds. From a broad spectrum, they've expanded over the years. So it's a class about wealth creation, mindset, and building productive habits at those ages. We're teaching it for free in the Market Center on Saturday. It's a full day workshop for folks of that age group. We have 5 more spots open. We'd love your help in filling them if we can. It's really impactful, especially at that age. If you can imagine all the conversations we're having today, if someone around you were having them with you when you were 17, imagine what could have transpired between these groups. So it's a nonprofit. There's a donation people can make when they sign up their children or people they know, but it's a part of the nonprofit you run. So when I send around an email, after I sit down with a link to it, if you want to just kind of think about your clients, maybe have children in that age bracket, just know to reach out to them as well and offer something of value, or maybe your children or people you know. So just trying to fill 5 more spots. It's this Saturday from 9 to 4 in this house. Thank you.
Yeah, one last final announcement also, Ignite is kicking off starting on Monday. So it's awesome for new agents or newer agents or agents who want to just revamp their business. It's basically boot camp, how to get in, how to do it right. So if you're interested in joining Ignite, Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the month, going to be 2.5 hours, 8:30 to 11. Come see me after this clinic, and I'll get you more info for new agents, newer agents, or anybody who just wants to revamp. All right?
All right, now back to your regular scheduled program. All right, who, when they heard the announcement MREA business plan, was like, what the heck is MREA? Be honest. All right. For the people that don't know what MREA is, you can tell them what MREA stands for. Okay, Millionaire Real Estate Agent. So the red book, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, was written to guide you how to become a millionaire real estate agent. Making $1 million in net profit. So a lot of this class is modeled off of that. So it's very important. This is probably one of the more important classes this time of the year, because if you want to start off 2019 on the right track and really having January be the month where your business really starts, the 4th quarter of the previous year is when that has to start, because the actions that you do today in the 4th quarter are going to lead to a productive 1st quarter and a productive rest of the year. So you guys, I commend you for being in here and getting started on your business for next year today. So I want to just start off with a little story and a little bit about your business and relating to your business. Some of you have heard me tell this story before, so you can tune out for the next 30 seconds. Picture a small plane flying over the Atlantic Ocean. Halfway across, the captain announces, "I've got bad news and I've got good news. The bad news is that the gauges aren't working, we're hopelessly lost, I have no idea how fast we're flying or in what direction, and I don't know how much fuel we have left. The good news is that we're making great time." So does that all sound familiar in your businesses? That's how most real estate agents run their businesses. They're flying blind with no data to gauge them where they are, where they're going, or if they're headed in the right direction. But they always remain optimistic, right? We always think everything is good in the real estate market. So only factual information can provide a basis for productive discussion and decision. presentation, this class, is designed to help you formulate and manage your business, to let you take the pulse of your business consistently and accurately, so you can take effective action. So you're no longer managing assumptions, subjective opinions, emotions, or egos. Today, we're really gonna get down to business. So the goals that we have for today, at the end, you'll see is gonna be, number one, committing to a process, not just a goal, right? We're gonna commit to the process of running ourselves like a real business. And to take action, right? Action may not always bring happiness, but actually take action on the things that we learned today. So if you don't have paper, pen, computer, notes, or something, take a quick minute and go and get something, because I want you to be participating in what we're doing today. This is not just me standing up here and just telling you stuff and you don't do anything. This is really a clinic, right? I'm gonna go over certain numbers that I think pertain to your businesses, but I want you to insert the real numbers in your business. If I'm talking about doing 36 deals a year and you wanna do 100 deals a year, then you insert 100 deals a year, right? You insert the numbers that are gonna be best for you, and we're gonna help design a plan that's gonna take your business to the next level. So, let's go over one of the things that we'll talk about some of the stuff that we'll go over today. So, introduction. So, if you're like most real estate agents, there's 5 common frustrations that you do. So raise your hand if you're dealing with these frustrations now. Number 1, lack of control. You don't have control over your time, market, your company. Instead of controlling your business, the business is controlling you. Who's dealing with that right now? Okay, a couple people. Number 2, people. You're frustrated with your employees, your customers, your vendors, your partners. They don't seem to listen, they don't understand you and follow through with their actions. You're just not on the same page. Who's frustrated with the people that they're dealing with right now? Okay, a couple. Profit. Simply put, there's not enough of it. There never is, right? Everybody should raise their hand for that one. The ones that are not, I want to teach this class. Right? Ryan, you didn't raise your hand on that. The ceiling, right? This is another frustration, the ceiling. Your growth is stopped no matter what you do. You can't seem to break through and get to the next level. You feel overwhelmed and unsure what to do. We all, no matter what point you're at in your business, you're probably at some point hitting a ceiling and wondering how do you get to the next level. We're going to talk a lot about that today. And last but not least, nothing's working. You tried various strategies, quick fix remedies. Nothing seems to be working for long, and as a result, your staff is numb, you're numb to new initiatives that you're doing, you're spinning your wheels, you feel like you're not getting any traction, right? If you didn't raise your hand, do you feel like, everybody in here can relate to probably one of those things? So here's the things that we're going to be going over today. Number 1, we're going to go over your big why. Why are we doing this, right? What's the reason why we're doing this? 9 ways millionaire real estate agent thinks. We're going to go over your value proposition and what that means. And if you don't have one, we're going to help you create one today. Achievements, taking control of your business. We're going to go over the 4 MREA models. We're going to go over the economic model. We're not going to go over all 4. We're going to go over the economic model. We're going to go over the lead generation model. We're going to go over goals. We're going to go over the career growth initiative. We're going to talk a little bit about focus, and we're going to finish it off with talking about accountability. And if you have any questions as we're going today, feel free to raise your hand. If I'm going to get to that later on in the presentation, I'll let you know. But feel free to participate. I'm going to try to get you guys involved as much as you can. So, who here has a big why? Does everyone? Okay. I would like to come with Blue Share. Susanna? So if you raise your hand, I'm going to call you. So don't raise your hand.
Oh, okay.
How's this going to work? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I want to, I have a big why for my family, and also for, I plan to buy a building and offer space for my Buddhist temple, have meetings, here locally in Philadelphia, and for my retirement, and for my health, but for myself, my family, and hopefully make the world a better place.
Yeah. Okay. What's your big why?
Why is to, be able to be concerned in 10, 20 years with working, travel and raise a family and spend time with my child.
Anybody on this side want to share what their big why is? So the big why is about having a purpose, a mission, or a need that in turn gives you focus. It's the reason why you're doing what you do. And it's a hard thing to think about. Very hard thing to think about. And you might not have the answer today. High achievers always have a big why powered by their action, right? The big why is the behind the scenes reason why they're doing something, and the actions that they're taking every day are leading them up to that. And not everything is always you don't always see the connection on the surface, but sometimes selling houses and making money is the action that you take, because that money is going to do something for you that's going to lead to the reason why you're doing this in the first place, right? Maybe for Susanna, it's selling a lot of houses and coming to work every day and knowing that I need to sell a lot of houses and get on the phone and lead generate and take these actions because I need to sell houses, because I need to make money, because what I'm going to do with that money is I'm going to build this temple for people and all the other things she's going to do for them. That's her big why. So if you don't know what your big why is, think about it and try to come up with something, right? If you don't know what it is right now, you don't want to think about it at the moment, take a note, write yourself a note to later today. Think about why it is that you're doing what you do and what you're going to do with all that. All right. So 9 ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks. So number 1, think powered by a big why. This is the one thing we just went over. So we just talked about that. We're not going to go over that again. Number 2, think big goals and big models. These are the ways millionaire real estate agents think, right? So think big goals and big models. If you have big goals and to reach them, you'll inevitably begin a quest for big models, right? Likewise, big models will drive you toward the achievement of big goals. So as we go through this today, don't set goals that you definitely think you're going to achieve. Think a little bit bigger than that and push yourself to do a little bit more. Think possibilities. Possibility thinking is supported by a big why with big goals and big models. That's when big results happen. Think action. Millionaire real estate agents are thinking about action at all times. Possibly thinking must be followed by action for those possibilities to have a chance of being fully realized. Think without fear. So I talked a lot about this in the last couple of days because actually 4 people in the room were, raise your hand if you're on the Spartan Race team from this weekend. A couple of guys did that, right? One of the things we talked about is thinking without fear. A lot of people in that particular race, were fearful of doing certain activities that held them back from doing that. Right? Sometimes analysis paralysis will get in the way of you actually being able to achieve what you want to achieve because you have fear is getting in the way. So think without fear. Think progress. Okay? Progress is about quantity, repetition, and growth year over year. Success is in the numbers. So we always talk about progress, not perfection. So everything we do is about progress and moving one step closer to where we're going. Don't feel like you have to perfect everything. One step along the way. Let me just tell you. What you gotta do here? They're going out there. Who's going out? You gotta be quiet, please. I'm trying to think about someone else. Okay, number 7. Think competitively and strategically. So you should approach your real estate business, right? You should approach your real estate career as you play Monopoly. Who plays Monopoly in here? Who has ever played Monopoly, right? That's a very strategic game, right? For many years, I went into Monopoly negotiate. And going to Monopoly, you negotiate, you think you're a real estate person because you negotiate. And then all of a sudden you realize that there's a strategy to Monopoly, right? You can go in and power your way through, or you can realize that there's probabilities in Monopoly, right? And there's actually a strategic way to win. And there's certain properties that there's more of a strategic probability of landing on than others because of the chance cards and the whatever the other cards are called, and the go to jails and all the things that you do. There's more of a probability to land on certain properties. The return on investment is better because it only costs a certain amount of money to build houses on certain properties, and the return on that, right? That's the real way to think about business, right? There's a strategy behind it, not just go in and just power through it every day and think that you're going to be able to get through it without strategy, right? Business is just like the game of Monopoly. Think standards. When it comes time to grow your business through people, you'll have to clearly articulate and enforce your standards from the beginning. And we're going to talk more about standards as we go. Standards in our life, standards with our customers, standards with our associates or our staff or the people that we work with or for. Sometimes standards might be about not picking up your phone at 10 o'clock at night and letting your clients know that, or what you expect from members of your team, or what you expect from your clients, right? There's a lot of different standards that you'll have in your life, in your business. And last but not least, millionaire real estate agents think service. So top producing agents have a servant's heart, and service is at the heart and soul of their business. Okay? All right, next thing I want to talk about is value proposition. I want to ask first, before I ask for some volunteers, I am going to ask for some volunteers to talk about what your value proposition is. Specifically, your unique value proposition. So value proposition can come in a couple different forms. If you're on a listing appointment, you have to have a value proposition that you're talking about to your potential seller, your client, because your value proposition is why they would want to work with you, why they would want to list their property with you. What is it that you do that's going to help them achieve their goals? If you are a team, the value proposition is why somebody would join your team. If you're an agent trying to join a team, it's what's the value that I bring to your team, right? Every aspect of your life, you have to know what your value proposition is, and more specifically, what your unique value proposition is. I'm going to go over what ours is, but I want to hear from you guys for a couple of your value propositions. I'm going to start with this side of the room first, if anybody wants to volunteer with the value proposition is. And don't make eye contact with me if you don't want to be called on. Definitely make eye contact. Who has I won't call you. You want to talk?
I don't think I have a really clear value proposition. I had like a one-liner that, in terms of my business that we connect community to opportunity, and we're a liaison between home builders and dream home builders and home buyers. But I don't think that really provides a totality kind of.
Yeah, that's fine. And I understand that most people probably won't have this now. And today is about recognizing what you don't have in your business and what we need to fix. But some people have gotten this far and put theirs. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. Anybody want to be brave? Who wants to be brave? All right.
So seller proposition
Yes, go ahead.
is to net them more money with more ease and grace and less drama than other agents can in the current market.
Okay. That'll work.
Do you want to do the buyer?
Go ahead. Yeah, sure.
So on our team statement, it states, Science Philly provides the perfect balance of in-depth community and market knowledge, strong negotiation skills, a high-quality professional work, and an understanding of the absolute best service comes from putting our clients first.
That's great. So we put together a value proposition for our team. We included the mission, the vision, values, and mission statement. So I just want to read to you what we have for our team. Our team was created to bridge the gap between what a brokerage should provide and what the agent is missing in their business. We are the supporting arm in the success of our agents. We believe in systems, professionalism, training, ethical decision. We're a team of specialists in every aspect of the real estate industry to support the growing needs and the changing landscape of our customers, our business, and our team members. So our mission is to produce extraordinary results, influence people, and impact lives. And our vision is becoming the standard of real estate teams. And our values are around accountability in all situations, leadership mentality, actions that challenge the norm, fire in our belly, collaborative nature, not lone wolf mentality, authenticity, loyalty, and a relentless focus on client experience. So the values were derived from a meeting that a few of us on the team had around what are the qualities and the values that we want in the people that are on the team. So that's what we came up with, that we wanted people to have that. And our beliefs, family, business, and fun. And of course, those are all very closely related. So, anybody want to share those before we move on? Yeah, okay. Keep going. All right, so next thing we're going to talk about is achievement. So, your natural ability, a lot of people in this room, they're great salespeople, you're very personable and dynamic, but your natural ability is only going to take you so far, right? At some point, you're going to have a ceiling of achievement, whether you're a new agent or whether you've been in the business for many, many years. There's always going to be a point in your career, if you're a driven person, that you're going to hit that ceiling of achievement, and your natural ability is not necessarily going to help you push through that. What you need to push through that is going to be foundational models, improved models. So that's what there's two charts on here. So the first one I'm talking about is this, right? You're at your natural ability, maybe you're a brand new agent, your natural ability can take you to sell $5 or $10 million worth of real estate, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe more than that, or maybe less. Then you're gonna hit a ceiling, right? Then you have to institute models in your business. Models that are gonna help you go from 5 or 10 million to 20 million, then from 20 million to 30 million, right? And that's where your model, then you have to improve your models, because a brand new agent is not gonna have the same models as a small team, or a medium-sized team, or a big team, right? The models will change and grow and improve as you grow. And every step along the way, you're gonna have to improve those models, break through that ceiling, and get to the next level. And a lot of that is what we're gonna talk about today. The next quadrant, or the next graphic on here is the cash flow quadrant. Has anybody seen this before? What is it? Rich Dad Poor Dad? Yeah. What is it? Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So most people in the world, maybe not in this room, but most people in the world are employees. I think the number was like 80 or 85% of people in this world are employees. They work for somebody else. You have a job, right? You have no leverage. 5% of those people are wealthy, and you're trading your time for money, right? You're getting paid to do a job. You're trading your time for money. In this business, as real estate agents, we all start out as self-employed, right? We're running our own business. That's the next phase. You're not necessarily, you're always working for somebody theoretically, with your clients, but we're self-employed, right? So you own the job, right? You don't have a job, but you own the job. That's how you all start out. You really don't have any leverage, and 95% of people that are in this phase have no leverage. So you're still at this phase trading your time for money, because when you got into the business, you're self-employed, but you don't have any people working for you from day one. If something needs to get done, you're doing it yourself, right? The next phase that you want to get to is a business owner. That's why you're in here today, to learn how to be a business owner. If you were in the agent financials class last week or a couple weeks ago, that's really next level business owner stuff. Everything that we try to teach you is how to be a better business owner so that you can run your business like a business and then translate into an employee. So when you own a business, when you're a business owner, you own the system, okay? You don't own the job, you own the system. 95% of people at this phase become wealthy because of that. This is the phase where people work for you for the money. And the next phase that you want to get to is investor. It's where you invest in somebody else's business. That's where your money works for you, right? That's the ultimate goal of where I think a lot of people want to get to. So there are the different phases where we're at right now. So right now, if you're at the self-employed phase, we want to try to help you get to the next phase, which is a business owner. If you're a business owner, pushing through that next phase of becoming an investor. All right, so millionaire real estate agent. Let's dive into the content now. So millionaire real estate agent has 4 different models. Okay, the economic model, lead generation model, budget model, and organization model. The easiest way to remember that is ELBO, E-L-B-O, ELBO. Okay. Who has read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book or listened to it? Okay. People that don't have their hands up, I highly recommend going out and getting either the audio book, Audible, or getting the regular book, because that is like the real estate Bible. If there's one book that I recommend as your first book in real estate, that's the one. So, Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller, that's the one. There's 4 models in there that it talks about. So, and we're going to go through those models today. All right, let's dive into your business now. So, question for you guys. Do you control your business, or does your business control you? In order to define the business that you want to have, you have to first understand who it is that you want to work with, right? That's the first thing that we have to decide. So think about, as I'm asking you these questions, I want you to think in your head, who comes to mind? So number 1, who is it that you want to work with? These are going to be the people that you're interacting with every single day. You're probably going to be spending the most time with these people, maybe even more so than your family and your friends. So when you pick your significant other, you spend a lot of time with them, right? You date them, you spend months, sometimes years for people. Why would you not spend the same amount of time, maybe not the same amount of time, but why would you spend some amount of time on figuring out what kind of client that it is that you actually want to work with? Who's had a bad client before? Why were these clients bad? What made them bad? What is it? And why? Why were they bad?
Mine was mean when I was in the hospital.
Mean, right?
Yes.
Why else were they bad?
Mentally unstable.
Mentally unstable, maybe? Why else were they bad?
Didn't value my advice.
Didn't value your advice, definitely.
Inconsistent and unreasonable with your expectations.
Yes, definitely. Have you ever had a good client? Right? Why were they good? Listen to you.
They trust you.
Trust you.
The motivation was high.
Respectful, high motivation. Right? So if you had a chance to choose whether you wanted to work with only good clients or you had to work with bad clients, obviously you'd much rather work with only good clients. So why is it that we allow ourselves to work with clients that are just not good clients?
Scarcity.
Scarcity, right? We don't have enough leads. We don't have enough clients, right? There's only a limited amount of people that you can work with, right? So you don't have enough of those people that you can pick and choose, right? If you had, let's just say you can only work with 10 clients at a time. Pick whatever number, 50, 10, whatever it is. You can only work with 10 people at a time, and you had 10 people that were all $2 million cash buyers that were like ready to buy something in 30 days. Or you had some people that were like, I'll buy within the next couple of years, and now I can only afford, whatever amount of money, and I need to borrow money, and my credit's low, and, I'm working with 5 other agents, whatever it is, right? We would not work with those people if we could only work with the $2 million cash buyers. But we don't have enough of them, right? Because we're not doing enough lead generating, we're not doing enough prospecting. We haven't built our sphere of leads big enough that we can pick and choose. So again, going back to who it is that we want to look like, who it is that we want to work with, we have to think about who it is we want to work with so that we can pick and choose and identify who those people are and attract ourselves to those people or have them be attracted to us. So think about, what do they look like? What are they passionate about? What are their goals? What are their dreams? What are their desires? When I first started doing this exercise, I put together names for these people, right, and what they're going to look like. So here's my ideal client, Julie. She's successful and driven. She has a message to share. She values her personal growth over money, and she knows she wants out of life. She has a husband and kids. She wants the best for her. Six-figure income. He's an athlete or former athlete. At some point, he has helped change someone's life in a small way and wants to learn how to help more people. He values growth over money. He has a wife and kids. He wants the best for his family. And he has a six-figure income. Find the type of person that you want to work with, that you want to be attracted to you, and that you want to attract. You cut out a picture of them out of a magazine so it reminds you every day the type of people that you want to work with. If you're saying you want to work in the luxury market, okay, figure out what that looks like. If you want to start working with athletes, figure out what that looks like. If you want to work with investors, figure out that. Understand the type of client that you're looking for so that you can attract them, right? So all this other stuff that we're going to talk about falls in line. All right, so now you know who it is that you want to work with. Now, where do we find these people? Okay, where do they hang out online? Right? This is marketing, right? If you say you want to work with luxury clients, well, where do luxury clients hang out online? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? What groups are they a part of? What networking groups? What email newsletters do they subscribe to? What blogs do they read? What newspapers do they read? Are they New York Times people? Are they Huffington Post people? What type of interest do those people have? What do they like? Do they like sports? Do they like art? Do they like fishing? Do they like race cars? If you don't know who the client is that you're looking for, it's going to be hard to find where that perfect client is. Meaning, you're not going to know where to market to and what type of marketing to do to attract those people and where you can find them. So make sure you know exactly who you're trying to attract. If you're saying that you want to, again, I use luxury example because it's easy for everybody to understand that, but if you're trying to attract a luxury buyer or a luxury seller, and you want to work in that luxury market at a higher price point, well, don't do all your marketing in North Philly where it's not a luxury market, right? Or in other areas where it's not luxury. Understand where it is that you're going to find the type of people that you're looking for. All right. Then, once you understand who you're looking for and where to find them, you have to understand what bait you're going to use to be able to attract those people. Okay, so that is your value proposition. That's what we talked about earlier about value proposition. That's what it is. So you found them, you attracted them, you're now in front of them, you have a chance to talk to them. What are you going to say? What is it that you're going to say to bait them, to lure them in? I don't want that to sound like devious, but to lure them in, to get them to want to work with you. You have 30 seconds to make 10 seconds really to make a pitch or say something that's going to attract them, to allow them to hear the next couple minutes of what you want to say, and form the relationship after that. So know what you're gonna say, know what your value proposition is. So if you're in the elevator with somebody, you know how to say it. All right, then once you get to the point where you have shown them your value proposition, then you have to understand what results you actually want to give to them. So this is not what you want to sell them. This is not like, oh, hey, I have the perfect house for you or the perfect property for that. It's not what you want to sell them. It's how you can have the deepest impact and serve the client at the highest level. So where is it that you want to take all your clients and have the highest value? Imagine that your clients would be willing to pay anything for you to give them that desired result that you want, where you'll be able to guarantee their success and give them the success that they want to have. So the question is, where would you lead them and what does that place look like? So if money was not an object, meaning you could spend whatever you wanted and the client was willing to pay whatever they wanted, what experience would you give to that client? Let's throw out a couple ideas. Let's just brainstorm a little bit. What type of experience would you want to give to a client that would be unmatched and they would want to talk about and rave about to all their friends?
Send them on vacation, so any offer I send them, they're so happy about what their situation is, they're gonna say yes.
All right. Sounds good.
They can't be upset.
That's right.
Educational. Educated throughout the whole time.
Okay. So let me give you one example of how it helped. So one thing we talked about, I think we did this for a little bit, but I don't think we didn't really follow through agree on it, was we said, hey, if any buyer that is pre-approved for over $1 million and has signed a buyer agency contract with us, we will rent a limo to take them out and show them properties. That would be a memorable experience, right? They would remember that, and they probably would want to keep working for you. But that's along the lines of what I'm talking about when I say where money is not an object, what is the experience that you want to give them that they're never going to forget? So along those lines, what other cool ideas can we come up with as a group? This is a creative bunch in here, I know it.
Bringing in an interior designer at no cost to help them.
Cool ideas? Yeah.
Client appreciation events are always good, so maybe doing something fun, like out of the box, like dance lessons for newlyweds if you're attracting like millennials or.
That's a cool idea. Did you have it back?
Well, I was just gonna say, just fundamentally having a streamlined process and, making sure that their expectations are met.
Yep. Definitely. Yep.
One of the things I've done in the past is, as we're going through a house, when they've narrowed it down, they see one or two or three things about a particular house that they would like change. The first 3 hours are handyman only. So they'll close on the house, the handyman moves into the house, and his first 3 hours I pay for. And then anything beyond that or additional materials or whatever, that then they have it. But this way they get a pretty good chunk of value from it.
There was an agent that, I had a property in Florida that I sold, and the agent that I met with, one of his value propositions, I'm not saying this is a good business decision, but I thought it was a cool idea, was he would bring out, kind of like you said, bring a handyman out to the house, create a punch list, and he took care of a lot of the stuff. He would come out, it was in the communities, it wasn't like in the city, but one of the things that he did as part of his listing service was brought mulch out, mulched all the beds, cleaned up all like the weeds from the driveway and stuff like that, and just made the exterior presentation look nice at his cost. I thought he'd change all the light bulbs out in the exterior of the house to make it look good, because he knew that by doing that it would help the house sell, and it was a value add to me. I thought it was a great thing. I mean, it cost him some money, so I'm not saying from a business perspective it was great, but I thought that was a great experience. These are the types of things that you want to be able to provide above and beyond. This is the 5-diamond service. If you understand what 5-diamond service is, this is the 5-diamond service. These are the things that people don't realize that they need, that you're providing to them before they need it. Think about what Ritz does, the Ritz-Carlton does, and some of the other really high-end places like that. They're ahead of your thinking. You don't even realize that you need these things, but then they provide them to you. You're like, oh, this is an amazing experience and a memorable one. So get your brain working to think along those lines and come up with 1 or 2 or 3 ideas of great experiences that you can provide to your sellers or buyers, and not letting money get in the way of it. Because if you provide this exceptional experience, they're going to talk about it, they're going to refer more clients to you, and they're going to want to do business with you again. And that's the point that you're trying to get to with the exercise that we just went through. All right, let's talk about schedule. So whenever you're creating a business or a business plan, the first thing that you're going to want to start with is your schedule. So who here uses a schedule? Some people didn't raise their hands. I'm very surprised. So the people that didn't raise their hands, because I'm doing the opposite today. So if you didn't raise your hand, now I'm going to call on you. So the people that didn't raise your hands, what do you use to track your schedule?
Define schedule. Like, are you talking about having like a set, like a blocked out schedule, or are you talking about like just using a calendar, or?
You tell me you tell me how you define a schedule.
I mean, I use a calendar to plan out my day, but I'm not putting specific time away for certain activities necessarily.
You're not, or you are?
I'm not blocking it out like that, but I get to things.
Give me an example of something you're not blocking out.
Like 1 hour or 2 during the day just to answer people's emails or something.
You're not doing it. Okay. That's a good example. All right, so schedule is very important. If you don't have a schedule, please get one. Either a handwritten schedule, a Google Calendar, Apple Calendar. What is the other one? Any other calendar that you use?
I heard this great quote from somebody who's really successful in real estate. It always resonates in my mind. He said, "My schedule is my boss."
Who said that? That must have been very wise. I did say that at one point. Your schedule is your boss, right? Your schedule is your boss. That is what you want to follow at all times. Once it's in the schedule, that's what dictates what you do on a daily basis. That is your boss, right? I don't know about you, but once I put something in my schedule, I almost never move it out of my schedule. That's like, it becomes locked in stone. So that's why I put going to the gym and stuff like that in the schedule at the beginning of the week, so that I can't move that. I feel guilty about moving it or not going to that. So here's my recommendations on how to organize your schedule. Number 1, put all your vacations in your calendar for the year and cross off days that you're not going to be working. Because if you don't do this, you're never going to feel like you have time to take vacation. You're always going to feel like you're busy. Something is always going to get in the way. So think about vacations and that type of stuff as if it were like one of your child's play performances, or like a best friend's wedding or something like that, or your own wedding, right? Think about it, you're not going to move something there, right? And the reason you do that is because what's going to happen? Last minute, a client's going to call you and say, hey, I want to go see a property on Friday at 8 o'clock, or I want to go list a property, I want you to come list my property. And what's going to happen? You're going to get excited about that, and you're going to say, oh, yes, I'll do it. And then you're going to forget about the other things that are in your schedule. But you wouldn't say yes to that if it were something super important like your own wedding, right? You wouldn't move your own wedding to go on a listing appointment. So think about it like that. Your vacations are super important. Your work-life balance is going to be what is going to create sustainability for you in this business. And you have to take vacations. What's up? What's up? Oh no, I'm not going to let you just walk in on anybody. Sorry. That's okay. So it's important to take vacations, whether it's a 3-day or 4-day vacation or 1-week vacation, whatever it is, you have to take some time off for yourself, for your family, to reset, recharge. So put that in your schedule. Number 2, time block all your appointments with your family. So date night, kids, ball game practices. If you have kids and they play sports or they're in plays or whatever, get that stuff in your calendar. You don't want other stuff getting in the way of that. Those are the most important things, more than all the other business stuff. Record all holidays you're taking off, right? We all take off a lot of holidays. Put that in your calendar. Okay, once you have that in the calendar, then you can get to the business stuff. Then we're talking about time blocking for script practice and lead generation every single morning. So, time blocking, who does time blocking in here right now? Okay, that's a lot of people. I think that's great. So time blocking is really just the act of scheduling an appointment with yourself to do your most important work. So in business, in running a business development, aka lead generation, aka prospecting, aka again, business development, is the most important thing that you can do in business. Nobody ever went out of business from having too many leads. A lot of people went out of business from not having enough leads, but nobody went out of business from having too many leads. So it's important that you're time blocking in your schedule when it is that you're going to lead generate or do business development, and not letting anything stand in the way of that. Schedule time for your team meetings for the entire year. So I know Jake is a big proponent of scheduling team meetings for the whole team, the whole calendar, right? The whole calendar for team meetings is in the schedule for the whole year. All the marketing that we do and the events that we have planned scheduled in December for the whole year. So we put together a whole marketing calendar for the year, so nothing's getting in the way of that type of stuff. Time block trainings that you're going to attend. I know that's hard because you don't always know far in advance the schedule, but especially in this office, we try to come out with the training schedule at least 2 weeks before the beginning of the next month. So if there's classes that we're teaching here at the Market Center that you want to go to, get those in your calendar now or at the beginning of the month, so you don't let anything get in the way. And regional events or mega camp or family reunion or any other events that you want to go to, get those in the calendar, or else you don't do that, something's going to come up and you're going to not end up doing it at the last minute. Don't wait till the last minute to put that stuff in your calendar. So until your goals consistently hit your calendar, you're not going to consistently hit your goals. All right? Until your goals consistently hit your calendar, you won't consistently hit your goals. And I use the gym as the example. If you don't consistently put that in your calendar, you're not going to consistently hit your goals, your fitness goals. Anybody have any questions on that before we move on? Okay. So let's talk about things that affect your bottom line. Who has a profit and loss statement in here? Couple people? All right. Good news. One of the things that we're doing here at the brokerage is we're going to be announcing this pretty soon. We're in the process of working this, but we're announcing KW Philly Concierge. And what we're going to have under that is we're going to have marketing services. So there's going to be a marketing person in here to do marketing things for you guys. Contract conveyancing, contract management type stuff, which we already have, but be branded under KW Philly Concierge. And bookkeeping. We're going to have an in-house bookkeeper that you guys can pay a few $100s, couple $100 a month to do your profit and loss statement and your balance sheet and manage your expenses for you. So you can business and make decisions based on that. So a little side note that's coming, yes.
Will they be a CPA?
No, they're going to be a bookkeeper. They're just going to be a bookkeeper. Try to keep the cost low. All right, so when we talk about bottom line meaning net profit, right? So there's 3 things that affect your bottom line. There's 3 ways that you can make more money. Number 1, higher average sales price, right? Agree? Everybody agrees? Higher average sales price. You can sell more houses, or you can have a higher average commission percentage. So I know a lot of times in our business we don't focus on this stuff enough. Somebody is offering 2.5%, and we say, all right, well, we'll just take 2.5% instead of trying to maybe negotiate. Maybe your standard is you don't take anything less than 3%, or 2.75%, whatever it is for you. Know what that is, because like in my business, when we were doing like a peak of what we were selling, just by our average commission percentage being changed by 0.1%, so basically like 2.5% average to 2.6% average, that 0.1% was the difference at $800,000 a year. Okay, big difference. So when you think it doesn't matter in terms of like negotiating that type of stuff, trust me, the bigger your business gets, the more it impacts your bottom line. So don't think about, make sure you're looking at that stuff. Okay, so those are the 3 things that affect your bottom line. And those are the things that we're going to dive into today. Yes?
Quick question, I do most of my business over in Jersey.
Yeah.
What's the regulation on this side of the river? If somebody's got a 2.5% listing and I make an offer, and I put in that offer 3% commission paid to KW, what's the regulation here? Am I allowed to do that?
You are allowed to do that. You're supposed to pre-negotiate the commission before you even show the property. That's really what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Not to say that people don't try to do that after the fact, and really it's up to the seller whether they want to pay you more, but you're supposed to be doing it beforehand. I heard, you had something else to say, or you clearing your throat?
I was
I mean, clearing through the figure
I
rates
think
off.
generally, what people usually do is that it's best practices to do it before you show the property, but in reality, it happens before you give the offer to the agent. And
Bottom line-
probably get it in a co-op agreement.
Yeah, exactly.
It's allowed, if you're doing it through the co-op agreement through negotiation,
You have to
and
use a broker fee agreement, not the co-op form.
broker fee agreement.
Offer. Yeah.
Okay. Just a broker fee agreement. I would say, don't let it get in the way of making a deal, but doesn't mean you can't try if you need to.
Right.
You know, you need to do it for the best interest of your client. Yeah.
The other way of protecting that is a strong buyer consult meeting and a buyer agreement where they understand the minimum commission. Different cases, they may have to pay part of your commission.
Show it again. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the economic model stuff. 3 key focus areas in your business where you can impact your bottom line. So the first thing is going to be the numbers that you need to hit in your business. So the first thing is, and we're going to dive into like your business on the numbers here, but buyer and sellers agreeing to do business with you, right? AKA listing agreements or buyer agreements. Number 2, appointments. And number 3, leads. These are 3 important numbers that you're going to want to track on a regular basis in your business. Because that's the start of everything else that flows down to the bottom line. Appointments, and then number 3, conversion rates. Because you might say, this person might say I get 100 leads a month, this person might say I get 200 leads a month, and the person that gets 100 leads a month is doing way more deals than the person doing 200 leads. A lot of times that's called conversion rate. So that's another thing that you want to track, and we're going to talk about how to do that today. But conversion between leads to appointments, and conversion from appointments to listing contracts, and conversions from listing contracts to listings sold. Okay, so we're gonna hit on all 3 of those things today. So I know you can't see this very well, but I'm just gonna go over some of this stuff so you can really see it. And I have this put together. If anybody wants this afterwards, I can email it to you. It's basically like an interactive sheet that I put together to help you achieve a goal. So you can't see it, so I'm just going to describe it to you. So what we did was we put together something to help you. Let's say you want to do about $10 million in business a year. This is actually based on $10.8 million in business. So we said, all right, how do we get to $10.8 million in business every single year? So we broke this up into 2 separate columns. I apologize, I know you guys can't really see this. So 2 columns. We have the seller side and we have the buyer side over here. So first thing we do is we talk about number of transactions and what we need to do. So you might say to me, all right, I want to do 36 transactions this year, three transactions a month. Okay, so my next question to you would be, what percentage of your business is going to be buyer side? What percentage is going to be listing side? Meaning, what do you want, right? You're sort of predicting, if you're a newer agent, if you have those statistics from previous years, use those statistics from previous years. So in this example, we said, all right, we want 60% of our business to be listing and 40% of our business to be buyers. So what that means is, on listings, that means we have 21 and a half listings sold, basically 22 listings sold, and 14 to 15 buyers sold every year. So that number all rolls up to the top. So the next question I would ask you is, what is your average price range? Does everybody know, or think they know what their average price range is in here? If you don't, that's a number that you should know. What is your average price range? Because you can't do these projections until you have those figures really understood. So for the purposes of this exercise, we said the average price range is 300,000. That's kind of a good range for us. Maybe yours is higher, maybe yours is lower. We use 300,000. So based upon 300,000 and based upon that being our average price point, what that told us was that we need to have 39 listing appointments per year, or 3.2 listing appointments per month, so we can always round up, right? So basically 3 to 4 listing appointments per month is what we need to have at a 75% conversion rate. So that's a pretty high conversion rate. That means that 75% of the listing appointments you're going on, you're getting. So that's a more experienced agent. If you're not that experienced, maybe your numbers are not that high, maybe you should use 60%. Or maybe yours is higher than 75%. So use the number that is going to be right for you. If you don't know this number, start tracking this number. So we're saying 75% of the listing appointments you go on, you're going to get. That means of the 38 listing appointments that you go on every year, or 39 that you go on, you're going to get 29 listings per year, or basically 2 to 3 per month. Now let's say those 2 to 3 listings that you take every month, 75% of them are actually going to sell. Okay? Again, maybe your number's higher than 75%, maybe your number's lower than 75%. If you don't know what your number is, make yourself a note to go back and look to see what your actual conversion rate is on that. Because if you're listing a ton of properties and 50% of them are selling, chances are either you're pricing them too high or your marketing's not good. Okay, it's probably one of those two things. So it's important for you to understand that. All right, so of the 21 or 22 listings, 29 listings you're going to take per year, 75% of them are going to sell. So that's basically 22 listings per year that you're going to sell, or basically 1.8 per month, so round up to 2. That's going to get you 2 listings sold per month. So in order to get 2 listings sold per month, you have to go on, in order to get 2 listings sold per month, you have to basically go on 4 listing appointments per month. You get that, okay? So that's how that flows down. At an average sales price of $300,000, which with an average commission percentage, I think in this example I used 2.75%, which would give you GCI, gross commission income from listing side, of basically $125,000 a year, or about $10,000 per month, which translates to a volume of about 6.5 million of seller side volume. Okay, I know I'm going fast to the math. Don't worry about keeping track of this. Just understand the concept. Okay, that gets you your 6.5 million on the seller side. You do the same math on the buyer side, right? We're saying the average price is going to be $300,000, and we said that 40% of your business, 40% of your 36 deals per year is going to be on the buyer side. So that means that 26 buyer appointments per month that you need to go on, or 26 buyer appointments per year, or basically 2 buyer appointments per month. So it's important to know 2 buyer appointments per month if you're doing this, because if a whole month goes by and you're like, shoot, I only met with 1 new buyer this month, then you didn't hit your goals, right? The goal is for you to at least hit 2 new buyers a month or more. And if you're not hitting that, the rest of it's not going to funnel down to the bottom line properly. It all starts with the appointments. So if you track the number of appointments you get, then you track your conversion rate, everything else is going to flow down to the bottom line the way that you want it to. So you go on 2 buyer appointments per month. Let's say you converted a 75% conversion rate again. So that's basically 19 buyer appointments, or buyer contracts signed, or basically just under 2 per month, converting 75% of them, meaning that 75% of the people that sign buyer agency contracts with you are actually going to buy houses. They don't always do that, right? Sometimes they decide to rent, sometimes they never buy a house, sometimes they screw you over and work with another agent, right? Like all these things happen, right? So we're saying 75% of that stuff will convert to actual sold. So 1.2 buyers sold per month. So that's basically between 1 to 2 buyers that are going to go under contract and go to settlement every single month. And that will get you about 4.3 million in buyer side volume. Okay? That is the basic plan that you want to put together of how you want to get to, in this example, basically $11 million in real estate or 36 deals per year. Okay? Does that concept make sense? We're going to dive a little deeper, but does that make sense so far? Understanding the numbers, right? Because success is a mathematical equation. This is not just going to happen by accident. You're not just going to magically wake up and do 36 deals a year if you're not doing that much now. It's probably not going to happen by accident. It's going to have to be a mathematical equation of figuring out how to get there. So every month of the year is not going to be exactly the same. So a couple of years ago, we started looking at our numbers, and by the time we would get to March, we would look back and we would say, oh man, we're behind in our goals for the year. Like, why is it every year by March we're behind in our goals every single year? So I started diving a little bit deeper into this, looking at how much volume and units we were selling every single month, and then I realized that not every month is created equally, right? What we were doing before was we were taking the 12 months of the year and dividing them equally, so basically every month was 1/12 of the year. But we all know that in this business, this is a cyclical business where our January and February are probably much worse than our June, July, and August, right? In terms of closings. That's just the way the business is. Now, I'm not saying your business is gonna be like at the bottom and then now at the top, but there's always gonna be those waves. There's certain months that are better than others in real estate. So I started to dive into this to see really what it is that the months were, and I found that I looked at a pattern over the course of like 5 years, and all the agents on my team and me, and I found that the pattern every single year was pretty much the same, and the percentages ended up being almost the same every single year. So what I did was I took every agent on the team and their percentages each month, and then I averaged them out over the course of like 5 years, and I came up with these percentages. This is my math, but this is based upon a lot of data saying that this is how your year should shake out. And I would take any of your businesses and I would plug this into this, and I bet you we were really close, because I used to coach somebody in Indianapolis. She did a lot of deals. She would do like 300 deals a year. And when I set goals, when we would set goals together for her, she said, hey, I want to do 200 deals this year. And I would plug this into my sheet, and every month we were like right on the money. It was scary. Like we would do this in December, January, and by June, like she was supposed to do 25 deals that month, and she would do 25 deals, or 26 deals, or 24 deals. Like it's scary accurate. So here's how it would shake out. So January, is probably the lowest of the closing months of your year, because in Philadelphia, November and December are usually some of our slower months in terms of stuff going under agreement, because you have Thanksgiving, you have the holidays, and it's just not as many houses are selling at that time of year. So when stuff that goes under agreement in November and December, that closes in January, right, or February, mostly. So January, I'm saying that January should only represent 2.66% of your year. February, 4.82%. March, 4.68%. April, 7.57%. Then we start getting higher. May, 13.3%. June, 11.65% of your year. July, 11.22%. And then, after July, it starts to dip down a little bit again for some reason. 7.43%. And then September jumps back up a little bit, 11.53%. And then it starts going back down again, 8.26 in October, 6.88 in November, and 9.99 in December. So if using that last example, if we're saying we want to do 36 deals and 10.8 million in volume, we're not saying that, on 36 deals, theoretically over the course of 12 months, every month we need to do 3 deals a month, right? It doesn't work out like that. We're saying here, I'm saying, January, you only have to do 1 deal. In February, you only have to do 2. In March, only 2. By the time you get up to May, you need to do 5 deals in those months. And June, July, and August, or June, July, you have to do 4 deals in those months. So every month is a little bit different. This way you can really have a much better gauge on your business. You're not just saying every month is equal. It gives you a little bit more, it makes you feel better actually, because now when you get to March, chances are you're probably closer to your goal than if you're just doing it equally. This is like a weighted average. Make sense? All right. So let's talk about appointments. So we already talked about appointments and how important appointments are. And when I say appointments, I'm mostly focused on pre-qualified appointments, but really sometimes there's different schools of thought on this, right? A lot of people say, I'm not going out on an appointment with somebody, buyer or seller, until they're pre-qualified, know the motivation, and they hit the standards of what I expect. Some people say, hey, an appointment is an opportunity to build a relationship, build a rapport with somebody. So we take most appointments that we get, and we go on those appointments, and we want them to see us face to face. We can build some rapport with them and establish a relationship. There's different schools of thoughts on that. I'm not here today to tell you which one's better, but we're just talking about appointments. So if you don't have those appointments, nothing else matters. And we talked about that before. If you're plugging 0 appointments into your funnel every single month, chances are that you're not going to come out with a sale at the end of the month. So appointments are driving everything in your business. So these are questions that you need to ask yourself, and you can take a picture of this, write this down. This is something that you might want to answer after the presentation today, throughout the rest of this week to really understand this. But how many seller appointments did you have last year? So if you want to get a good gauge on your business to see how it translated into the funnel that I just talked about, go back in your business and really look at it. So how many seller appointments did you have last year? How many buyer appointments did you have last year? What causes the net income to rise or fall? What starts with the beginning activity of appointments. So an appointment, if you get an appointment, that's a hiring appointment. If you meet or exceed their expectations, they'll sign with you. Most of the time when somebody's calling you to list a property, they're ready to sign the listing. They're not, 70, 80% of the time, they're interviewing just you and nobody else. Same thing on a buyer appointment. They're not always interviewing multiple agents. Chances are, if you don't screw up and you meet or exceed their expectations, they're gonna sign with you, they're gonna hire you. So go into every appointment as if you had already got the business, that you're going there basically just to get paperwork signed and to show your value proposition and how you're gonna help them. But a lot of times people don't go in there thinking that with that mindset. So an appointments converted to a seller and buyer listings converted to sales equals your gross income. So the amount of buyers times the commission, amount of sellers times the commission, that's gonna equal your gross income. So let's talk a little bit about some of the numbers. Who went to the agent financials class that Brandon Green taught the last couple of weeks? What do you guys think?
Great.
Good. Very in-depth, really gave you a different perspective on business, how you're supposed to run your business, using the numbers, having a profit and loss statement. So we're talking about business planning, so I want to go over some of the definitions to make sure you understand, really, we're all talking the same language here. First thing is GCI. Okay, everybody heard the term GCI? Stands for gross commission income. The way to calculate is that's your total top line revenue of all commissions brought in. So the way to calculate that is simple. The total sales price times the average commission. So if you do a deal that's $300,000 and it pays a 3% commission, your GCI on that particular deal is $9,000. Okay, makes sense? And you're going to add that up over the course of all your deals. Number two is your cost of sale. So this is, for those of you who are in the class, this is the amount of money that you paid to your team, the amount of money that you paid to your office, brokerage, royalties, any referral fees that you paid out, that's your cost of sale. So after you subtract out your cost of sale from your gross commission income, you're left with your gross profit, or Keller Williams' world, it's company dollar on the broker's level, but it's gross profit in accounting terms. Okay, then you take your gross profit, that's the amount of money that you actually deposit into the bank, right? That's what you're left with that you actually put into the bank, that's your gross profit. Then from that, you have to subtract out your operating expenses. So your operating expenses are, what are operating expenses? Who knows?
Closing gifts.
It could be a closing gift. What else? Salaries.
Photographer,
What is it?
paying for photographer.
Photographer.
A desk here.
Signs. What?
A desk here.
Desk here, yep.
Marketing
expenses, right? All the other costs of doing business, right? Marketing, rent, salaries, equipment, supplies, advertising. Those are all your operating expenses. So you take your gross profit, the amount of money you put in the bank, then with that money, you're gonna pay your bills, you're gonna pay your expenses, and what you're left with at the end of the day is your net income or your net profit. That's the amount of profit that your sales business earns. So I hear people bragging all the time. I did, $10 million worth of business. I did $300,000 worth of GCI this year, right? That's what people talk about. Nobody really ever talks about net profit. That's the important number. Because if you did $10 million in business, if you did $300,000 in GCI, but you only walked away with $20,000 at the end of the year, or some people negative, right? Maybe some people spent more than what they actually earned. You don't have a really good business. It's important to focus on all three of these because the most important number from a business perspective at the end of the day is net profit, right? We're in business to turn a profit. That's, from a financial perspective, that's the reason why we're all in business, yes.
What's the formula for net income?
So it's GCI, the top line revenue, minus cost of sale. That's the money that you pay out to the office, if you're on a team, all that stuff. So you're on a team. You're on a team, so you don't have your cost of sales probably super low. So for you, it's probably your royalty, if you're in the office. if you pay for your own desk, it would be that. If you have a referral fee on a deal, it would be that. But if you're an agent on a team, your cost, or if you're an individual agent not on a team, your cost of sales is probably relatively low. It's your commission splits to the brokerage, that would be your cost of sales, right? So top line revenue minus cost of sale equals gross profit. Gross profit minus expenses, that's your net income. Anybody have any questions on that? It's important to think about it like that and understand that. That's why we're gonna bring in a bookkeeper so everybody can have a P&L, a profit and loss statement, so you can really understand what your business is actually earning. So we talked about how average sales price really makes a difference. There's some people that are in some of my mastermind groups from around the country, and their average sales price is $1 million, right? And there's some people in my mastermind groups where their average sales price is $200,000, right? Sometimes we can control that. In Philadelphia, somewhat we can control that because we sell houses that are millions of dollars, and we also sell houses that are under $100,000, right? So to some degree we can control that. Some areas just don't have super high price point stuff, and some areas don't have low price point stuff. Good for them. So let's just say that the gross commission income goal was to make $200,000 a year, top line revenue, GCI. And let's just say for the purposes of this example, average commission was 2.75%. So in order to achieve $200,000 of GCI at an average commission of 2.75%, the chart on the right-hand side will show us how many deals that we need to do at what average price to achieve that. So we either need to do 49 deals at $150,000, 37 deals at $200,000, 30 deals at $250,000, or if we know our average price is $300,000, we need to do 25 deals at $300,000. We're going all the way up to the top of this chart. We only have to do 19 deals at $400,000 to achieve that goal. So the average price of our stuff really does matter. If you find that the neighborhood that you work in, or the people, the clients that you have, your average price is only $200,000, when you're putting this together, then you need to understand that you're going to need to do 37 deals to achieve the $200,000 income, whereas the person over here, where their average price is $400,000, they're only going to have to do 19 deals. They're going to have to do half as many deals as you would have to do to achieve the same GCI. So average price does matter. If that's one of your goals, try to focus on neighborhoods where you can raise your average price point. If you feel like you're stuck and not making enough money or stuck at average price point, maybe refocus on a different neighborhood. You know, try to get your marketing to a different clientele or a different neighborhood in town that's going to raise that price up. It really does make a difference. All right, let's talk a little bit about conversion rate. So there's certain factors that do affect conversion rate. And does everyone understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about conversion rate? Yeah. Okay. So you must focus on key activities that lead to closed sales. So there's two things about conversion rates. There's factors that we can control, and there's factors that we can't control. So what's one factor that we can't control? Something beyond our control.
Interest rates.
Yep, interest rates, we can't control that. What else? Inventory.
Weather.
What else?
Government policies.
Government policies, yep. So current market conditions, which includes all the things you're talking about, we can't control that type of stuff. But there are things that we can control. That's the effectiveness of your presentation, the quality of your leads that you're getting, and the consistency of your follow-up. So no matter what the market conditions are, those three things that we can control, that's going to affect your conversion rate. If your presentation is not on point, if you don't know your presentation, like I've done thousands of listing appointments in my career. I literally can walk in with blank pieces of paper with a fake card. I never whip out this presentation. I literally just talk. I have the same script every single time. I insert the same stupid jokes every time, at the same time in the presentation. It's a script. It might not seem like it. It seems like it's a dialogue, and that's the type of presentation you want to have, so it's more like a dialogue. What it really is a script, it's a presentation. And it's effective because I've perfected it over the years, I've done it over and over again, I've said it so many times that it becomes effective. And I can literally give it at any time. If somebody says, hey, I want to list my property, can you sit down with me for 5 minutes? I saw you had a Philly Living sticker, Keller Williams sticker, I want to list my property. You just right there spit off my presentation and list it. That's the point that you need to get to. You need to be effective in your presentation because you don't want to waste your time going on these listing appointments, these hiring appointments that we talk about, and not convert them into listings and into sales, right? It's important to master that and think of yourself like anybody an actor or an actress or ever performed in any plays or right? You have to learn a script, right? You learned the script. You mastered it. So when you're up on that stage, you were that person that you needed to be, and you were literally just spitting out the script that you memorized. A listing presentation, a buyer presentation, going over and agreeing a sale with the client, all that stuff, that's all needs to be scripted in your own voice so you can have a highest conversion rate and you can feel comfortable. And of course, we talked about qualities of the leads and the consistency of your follow-up. The person that follows up with the lead the longest, it has the best chance of actually getting that lead. I think the stats were like, the person that follows up eight times, at the eighth follow-up is when you had the highest conversion rate. People that stopped at like 7 follow-ups, the conversion rate was here. The people that had 8 follow-ups, it was up here. Like, it was that much of a difference. So just because you follow up with somebody 1 time or 2 times or 3 times, that might not be enough. Why is it not enough? Maybe you called them at a bad time. Maybe life got in the way. Maybe they were on vacation. Maybe something happened and they just forgot about your message or deleted it by accident. There's a whole litany of things why somebody didn't call you back. It's important for you to stay in front of them as long as you can so you can convert them, when the time comes.
I have a question for you about that point. So you're saying 8 is the magic number. How is one spreading that number around? You're not going to call them 8 times in one day, I don't imagine.
Nope, we're going to get to that.
All right.
We're going to get to that. It's a good question. All right. So, this is just a little chart of what we went through before, and I know you couldn't see the chart I had up there before, so I made it into a little bit more of a readable, something you could see a little bit better. So if your goal is to do 36 transactions this year, this is your formula for it. If your goal is to do more, plug your numbers in on the right-hand side. So closed units. In this example, I'm just going to go through this one. I'll help you do yours. So in this example, we wanted to try to figure out how we can do 36 closed units a year. So we said that the conversion rate is going to be a 75% conversion rate in this example. So starting at the bottom, that tells us that we need to do 3.2 seller appointments a month and 2.1 buyer appointments a month. So we said we're going to convert 75% of the appointments into listing contracts, buyer or listing contracts. So on the seller side, that 3.2 appointments should turn into 2.4 listings per month. Obviously, you understand that 0.4 is an average over the course of the year. You're not taking 0.4 of a listing, but it's between 2 to 3 a month. Buyer appointments, if you're going on 2.1 or is it 2 to 3 buyer appointments a month, you should be getting 1 to 2 buyer listings every single month. So plug your numbers in on the right-hand side so you can really understand what goals it is that you need to hit to achieve your goal. If your goal is 100, if you want to do 100 deals this year, if you want to do 500 deals this year, the formula is exactly the same. You just need to understand how many appointments you need to go on. And if you're saying you want to do 500 deals this year and you have a team, right, that 500 deals means that your team needs to go on X number of appointments, okay? And then you're tracking it from the team level. If you need to take 50 listings a month to achieve your goal, then it's holding your team and team members accountable for hitting that goal of 50. Right? It's the same formula, just at all the different levels. So plug in your numbers in there and understand how to track it. And look at them on a monthly basis. It's goal versus actual. We set the goal at the beginning of the year. Here's our goal. Here's what we actually did. Did we hit it? Yes or no? And we don't want, the point of doing a business plan and the point of this business planning thing is not so we can look back at the end of the year and say, hey, did we hit our goals? No, at that point it's too late. We need to be calibrating this and recalibrating this every single month. So by the time we get to the end of January, you say, all right, did we go on the number of appointments we needed to go on? Did we get the number of listing contracts we needed? Did we get the number of closed deals that we needed to get? Yes or no? Yes? Good. The plan stays the same for February. The answer is no. Say, all right, we were off by one, we were supposed to do 4 deals and we only did 3 deals. We need to make up that one difference. So we're gonna add that to February. So now February was gonna be 3, but now it's gonna be 4 because we didn't hit our goals for January. So we're recalibrating. We're not just getting into the next month and saying, all right, well, we're behind for the year, so now we're always gonna be behind. Now we're gonna add that to the next month and we're gonna recalibrate the next month so that we can always try to hit the new goal. Okay? We're not going back at the end of the year and doing this. We're doing this on a monthly basis. You're never getting too far away. And really, you want to break it down and do your 411. So every week you're looking at this. Every day you know what you need to be doing, and every week you know what you need to be doing. So every month, if you do what you need to be doing every day, and you do what you need to be doing every week, then every month you're going to get your goals. Makes sense? I know this is very technical, but like I said, success is a mathematical formula. We can't just wing this and expect that we're going to get the results that we want. This is a true business plan, thinking and being strategic about our business. This is working on our business and not in our business. This is what we talk about all the time, about working on our business and not in the business. That's the economic model. All right, let's talk about lead generation model. Anybody have any questions before we go into this? I'm going to move too fast. Trying to get you out of here.
You're still gonna touch back on that.
I have, yeah. I have like probably 6 more pages. We're going to get into that. It's right here. I'm looking at it. We're going to get into it. All right, next thing is lead generation model. So we talked about it before. By be prospecting based and marketing enhanced in your business. I see a lot of people that are marketing based, meaning like they're just promoting themselves passively and not necessarily being active and aggressive and prospecting based in their business. You have to have both. You have to be prospecting based, reaching out to people, following up with marketing and all that stuff too. So just always be thinking about business development as your strategy. So let's talk about some lead sources, some places where you can actually get business through lead generation. So, well, rather than me just go through this, why don't you guys tell me, where are some places you can get business? Yeah.
I always ask vendors that I work with.
Yeah.
I notice that contractors typically actually have rental properties that they own.
Yep.
They want to own.
Yeah, vendors, allied resources, that's definitely a good one. Where else? Yep.
Networking events?
Yep. Very good. What else? Open houses. If you're not doing open houses, now I don't do open houses just because I like to have my weekends with my family. But open houses are a very, very good source of business. Susanna just walked out, but she's done open houses the last 2 weekends at a listing that we had. It's like a $2 million listing. She's gotten 3 buyers out of this that committed to working with her, $2 million buyers, all from sitting open houses for like a couple hours over the course of 2 weekends. Like that's a very productive. And one of them, she met at an open house, and the next week put them under contract for like $2.something million. Like that's an effective use of your time. So open houses definitely work if you can commit to them. Yeah, what else?
My #1 source of leads is the Racket Club of Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I know there's tons of different organizations. If you don't want to be in the Racket Club or the Union League, one of those clubs, like the Fiddler Club's about to open up. Wherever you want to spend time and hang out, like you develop that network over years, and it just pays out so much money.
Write down Racket Club.
Yeah. There's like 4 realtors there, so plenty more room.
Yeah, have a place that you go that you own it, people know. So center of influence, past clients, that should be the top of your list. Door knocking in your farm area. You said open houses, sign calls, for sale by owners. That's always a good resource, always. Especially as the market starts to turn. Right now, for sale by owners, they can, for the last couple of years, they put their property up on the market, and the inventory is so low, the market's so good, they're going to sell it themselves many times. But when the market turns and inventory creeps up, and marketing is even more important, and the resources that we as real estate agents have, it's going to become even more important for them to be using our services. So it's going to be easier to undertake for sale by owner listings as the market starts to turn. Same thing with expired listings. That's always a great resource. You know those people want to sell their houses. They had a listing before, it expired with the previous agent. They probably still want to sell. And it expired, meaning that they're probably maybe more reasonable on the next time the pricing comes around. Website registrations. For your websites or any of the other, Zillow or any of the other sites that you guys use. Social media, that one obviously has become a bigger part of our business in the last couple of years. Allied Resources, as I mentioned, direct newsletters if you're doing that, just sold mailings, just listed mailings, apartments. If you're not prospecting renters to buyers, you're really missing out on that opportunity, because many times people are renting because they don't realize that they can actually buy a house. And a question to ask if you want to prospect for people that are trying to rent properties is, hey, you want to spend $2,000 on a rental, have you ever considered buying a house? Well, I can't afford down payment, I don't have enough money. Well, you realize that you can buy a house with as little as 3.5% down or 5% down? Oh, no, I didn't realize that. I thought you needed 20% down. So a lot of times people are misinformed, they don't understand, and they would actually much prefer to buy a house, they just don't think they have the money or can afford it. So it's important to have those conversations with people. Builders, drive around and see houses that are being built. Go into the house and talk to the builders there. Networking events, seminars, sponsorships. If you sponsor your local, I don't know, event or whatever it is, like there's different things that you can sponsor in Philadelphia to get your name out there. Referrals is a very good one, especially with the new Keller Williams referral platform. Like that's going to be a huge source of business around the country. If you're active on that referral network, you should be able to get a ton of referrals from people all over the country by putting yourself out there and saying, hey, I know that if you have anybody that's moving from New York to Philadelphia, I'd love to be the real estate agent that helps you out. With the new Keller Williams technology that's about to be rolled out, we're going to be able to see migration patterns of people from where they're moving to and where they're moving from. So we'll be able to see that there's the biggest influx of people moving to Philadelphia is from Omaha, Nebraska. Right? We don't know why, but maybe there's I'm just making that up. That's true. That'd be crazy. That's true. Maybe there's a new big company that just opened up here, and they moved from Omaha, Nebraska to Philadelphia, and they have 2,000 employees here, right? Like Amazon, right? If that does happen here, there'll be a lot of people moving potentially from the West Coast to here. So these migration patterns, we'll be able to see that. We'll be able to advertise in those locations. Banks, right? As the market turns, bank deals, attorneys, yep, estate attorneys, divorce attorneys, they're great resources of business. Client parties, agent referrals we're talking about, and just listing mailings. I'm sure there's a ton of other ones. These are just some ideas to get your mind turning a little bit. As you say, like, I don't know where to go to generate business. This is where you go. You just everybody else introduce themselves, say where they're from, and what their goals are.
Hello, sorry I'm late.
So, are you guys cool on this one here? Any questions? Want to talk about this anymore? This is to keep your mind going. So I don't want everybody to say I don't know where to go look for business. These are all places that you can go look for business. Some have better success than others, obviously. But you have to be doing one. I mean, I could put on a piece of paper these 20 things. You say, well, I don't want to do open houses. I don't want to do for sale letters and expires. I don't want to do door knocking. Okay, well, you have to be left with something that you're actually going to do and that you're going to own. So whatever that's going to be, own it, do it, and just crush it. Yeah.
Obviously, your business looks different now because you're not necessarily going after individual buyers and listers of listing appointments. But if you were an agent starting off that maybe hadn't seen the market where it's at now, where there is a potential turn coming up, where do you think would be the most opportunity to really grab market share?
Well, I started in sales in 2008, so the market was actually way worse than it is now. People say it was the worst time, but I didn't know the difference.
You had nothing to compare it to.
The way I learned how to do it was just around business development and prospecting. And the culture at the company I was at where I first started was around just being on the phones every day and calling for sale by owners and calling expires. And I always tell the story of Kate's not here, she was here, but I remember listening to her on the phone literally every single day, calling expires and for sale by owners and knocking on doors, and she would at any given time she had 40 or 50 listings. Man, this is crushing it. I wanted to be like that. So I just did what she was doing and what other people in the office were doing. I just called people, I knocked on doors, I put my business out literally everywhere. back then, it was Craigslist was a big thing, so I was all over Craigslist, I would do open houses. Like, all the things on here, I did all of them. I didn't do anything else but lead generate. And eventually you start to build some momentum, and you start to get referrals, after a while. But I just did all those things. You just have to be focused on business development. That's really all it is. Cool. All right. So let's talk about marketing strategy. Does somebody have a hand up? Do you have a hand up? No, okay. Let's talk about marketing strategy. So what did we talk about so far? I don't even remember. We talked about schedule. We talked about appointments. We talked about how to do some of the math. We're going to get into more of that. We talked about who you want your clients to be, where to find them, what experience you want to provide to them. I think we talked about a couple other things too. So let's talk a little bit about marketing strategy. So the reason we're going to go through this is so you can have a laser sharp focus for your sales and marketing efforts. So marketing strategy is made up of, in my opinion, 4 elements. So you have and I'm going to go through each of these. Your 3 uniques, your guarantee, your proven process, and your target market, or the list. Okay? So we're going to dive into each one of these individually. So your 3 uniques. So we talked a little bit about value proposition, and more specifically what I'm talking about now is unique value proposition. So the 3 unique. So these are what make you different. Okay, what make you stand out and what you're competing with. If you line yourself up against 10 of your competitors, you might all share one of the uniques. Some of you may even share 2, but no one else should have the same 3 that you have. So Southwest Airlines, so let's use them as an example. Southwest Airlines is a great example of this. So they focus on low fares, on-time flights, and having fun, right? Has everyone flown on Southwest? You know what that experience feels like. It feels different than other airlines that you may have flown on. So that's what drives everything in the organization's business model. So if you fly on Southwest, you know it doesn't offer any frills, and as a result, it doesn't appeal to everyone. And that's okay by Southwest. What matters to Southwest is its ideal customer. They know who their ideal customer is, and that's all that matters to them. And they're okay with losing customers to have the business that they want, because they are unique. They know who they are, they know who they're marketing to, and they know who they want to be. Do you know who you want to be in your business? Next thing is to have a guarantee. So in real estate, there's a lot of different ways we can talk about guarantee, but the second element of the marketing strategy is the guarantee. So FedEx, okay, what FedEx did back in the day was with overnight delivery. So their motto was, it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. That was their motto. Because now we take it for granted with Amazon and like all this overnight stuff. But when they first started, that was their unique value proposition. We'll have your package to you overnight. We'll have it there the next day. And that was like a big deal. Especially when, people used to get their package on like a horse and buggy. Right? And then it was like a boat. And then it was whatever the next level up was, snail mail. Like, soon it will be teleporting to you. Email, right? Think like fax and email. Like, it's pretty much instant, right? Domino's did the same thing with pizza delivery when they first started their big marketing campaign. 30 minutes or it's free. That was a big deal, right? That was their guarantee. The guarantee is the opportunity to pinpoint an industry-wide problem and solve it. So in the pizza industry, the problem was, people didn't want to wait an hour or 2 hours to get their pizza. When they're hungry, they want to eat quick, right? Who wants to wait 2 hours to get a pizza? They want to eat in 30 minutes when they want a pizza. They identified an industry-wide problem and they solved for it. This is typically a service or a quality problem. That's the problem that we're trying to solve for. So for us, we must determine what our customers can count on from us. If you guarantee it, that will put their minds at ease and enable you to close more business. Your guarantee has a secondary benefit as well. It forces all the people in your organization to deliver on it, to deliver on that promise. And that in turn forces you to look inward and make sure you've got all the right people, all the right processes, and all the right systems in place to deliver on that guarantee. Your client will never need to make good on that guarantee if you're at your absolute best. So what's an industry-wide problem that we have that we can guarantee? What do some people do in real estate? Yeah.
They don't answer the phones.
Okay. How do you solve for that?
I can guarantee that will return your call within a certain time period.
Great. That's great. Emma?
I guess following along with her accountability.
do you solve? What's your guarantee?
That I don't lose focus on the client.
Okay. What else? Yep.
Open house, second level versus seventh level.
So, identify the problem. What's the industry-wide problem?
To what level that they're going to be doing an open house, is just put a sign in the ground, or is it take it to the next level?
How do you solve it?
I'm not going to go to seventh level for everyone to do it, so it'd be my guarantee.
Yep.
Turning into like the AT&T operator slash not giving sellers feedback.
So what's the problem? Help me clearly identify what the problem is.
The
You
problem-
have to articulate this to your client.
Right.
Here's the problem in our industry, and here's what we need to do.
Two challenges in our industry is that while I'm trying to help market your home, right, the phone is ringing because my marketing is effective, I have to schedule appointments for your home. So I have this amazing concierge service, showing time, that's going to allow you to automatically be able to determine who comes and when they come. While I'm out giving you more buyers and offers to choose from. And in return, you're going to start to get feedback so that we can tweak as necessary, and you'll know that the process is working.
Think about back in the day. I mean, we take some of this stuff for granted, but, think about, whatever it is, 10, 20 years ago, however long this happened. But, the problem is that agents are never available when the client wants to go see a property, and, agents always have to be at the appointments in order to let people in. So that's the problem. So we've solved that problem. We've come up with a lockbox. Now we put a lockbox in your home with the key in it. Now agents go through our showing time service and they can get in the property when it's convenient for them, right? That was solving a problem back then. There's, agents still do this, but I think we did this at one point. Guarantee to sell your home in 30 days or we'll sell it for free. Guarantee we'll sell your home in 30 days or we'll buy it, right? A lot of that, that solves the problem. There's some companies coming to the market, mostly on the West Coast right now, these iBuyer programs where, what's the problem? The process of selling a home could be painful, right? I decide I want to sell my home, I put it on the market, it sits on the market for a certain period of time, then it sells, it goes under contract, and it doesn't settle for 30 days or 60 days, it's a process, right? So there's these companies that came out that says, they'll just buy it, right? They'll just buy the homes right there on the spot. You just go on, and I don't know exactly how it works, but they'll just buy it right away. And there's these big hedge funds that are just coming in. In Dallas, they came in, I forgot, Open Door, I think is the company's name. They came to Dallas, and they basically have almost the largest market share in Dallas already, just from buying up all these homes. And now they're reselling them. Their profit margins are so slim because they make their money on mortgage and title and all this other stuff that they don't care about the transaction. So anyway, there's a lot of different guarantees. Think about what is the guarantee that you can have in your business that you can guarantee to your customers that puts their mind at ease. Anybody else want to go for it? Yeah.
You list your house and then you never hear from the realtor again. So guarantee a weekly update call with showings, feedback, and
Great. Great. Yeah, I guarantee you'll have communication with me at the follow-up times. It's great. Yep.
Like guarantees on investment properties, I'll guarantee I'll hit at least this cap rate or this much in cash flow or maybe this type of GRM or some sort of formula for rate of return that they're looking for.
Sure. Yep. Identify the problem and then what the guarantee is.
Right, so, again, for what the value is that I do get from there, I always use the quarter keys from both.
Sure. Do you want to?
I do, yeah. It's I do what other agents do. I do other agents put a sign up, put it online, and pray someone makes an offer, and how to go across that.
There you go. Hoorah. Is it hoorah there?
No.
Uber, right? The problem with the taxi cab industry, right? There is a problem. The problem was that people didn't like that process, so they created an on-demand service. And the problem of energy drinks is that people had a need for, they wanted energy, but they didn't necessarily mean that they were thirsty, right? They wanted energy, but they didn't want to drink a 12-ounce or 16-ounce can of liquid. So the problem was people want energy but are not thirsty. So what do we come up with? The energy shot. 4-ounce, 3-ounce energy shot. Now you can get the energy you want, and you don't have to be thirsty to drink. You just pop the energy shot, right? So think about it in those terms. All right. So now that we know what the guarantee is, let's discuss what your proven process is. So this is the proven way that you provide your service or your product to your customers. You do it every time, and it produces the same results. It's what got you where you are. What you need to do is capture that process in visual format to guide your sales team. It should be encompassed on one single sheet of paper. Okay, it should illustrate your proven process, and it must have a name. It should show each step from the first client interaction to the ongoing follow-up, and once your product or service has been delivered, or the ongoing follow-up once your product or service has been delivered. So instead of giving a sales presentation and inundating them with information, you're basically saying, let me show you exactly how we're able to accomplish great results for our customers. They should be able to see a roadmap, point A to point B, of how you're going to take them from where they are now to where they're trying to go, which is usually buying a home, selling a home, or whatever, or investing in a property, whatever. You have to be able to map out that process for them in a clearly understanding way that they can understand it, all on one piece of paper. That's your marketing plan. That's the process. This is what it's going to look like. Okay, so if you don't have something like that, you should put that on your list of things to do after the class today. All right, and then the last thing, the fourth and final element is your marketing strategy. So the marketing strategy, that's your target market. So this is the list. This is what we talked about before about the people that you really want to work with. The list of people that if you got to choose all the people that you wanted to work with, this is the list of people that you want to work with, the list, the target market. So identifying your target market, that involves identifying your target customer, your ideal customer. So we talked about who they are, what they are, the demographic, geographic, psychographic characteristics, all the stuff we talked about. And by identifying the target market, you're creating that filter, the filter of people that you want to work with. And out of that is going to come the list of people that you're targeting, the people that your marketing is going after, your perfect prospects for your organization, your sales team. So once you understand that stuff, you're targeting your market, your marketing, you're targeting your messaging, you're targeting your guarantee, you're targeting everything that you do and your standards and everything you have towards that target market. So all that stuff helps you tie all that stuff together. So, lead generation, talked about this a little bit, there's no business without it, there's no paycheck without it. It's the one thing that every top agent does consistently. So many people think they're in the real estate business, but we always say this, don't be confused. We have two businesses. One is lead generation, and the other is real estate. So the real estate business is solely based on the first business of lead generation. So there's a saying, there was an old saying, it says, how did you go bankrupt? Gradually, then suddenly. It doesn't just happen all like this. It happens gradually, then suddenly. This is how a career in real estate can go well. Gradually, then suddenly. We always talk about the hockey stick effect of, you're doing all the right things, you don't see the results, and all of a sudden, all this time you're doing the right results, and then your business goes like this, right? It's the iceberg effect. You don't see all the stuff that happens in an iceberg, like 90% of an iceberg is below the water. You only see the little tip that's above the water on an iceberg. Most of what is happening in your business is happening behind the scenes that you don't really get to see. You only get to see the results over time. Every day you choose not to lead generate, you're one step closer to something. So lead generation is one of the realities we must face if we're remaining in real estate. We must lead generate every day, Monday through Friday. So lead generation is not one of those things that we can turn on and turn off, right? Just because we're too busy does not mean that we can stop lead generating. I see a lot of times people, they go through the spring and summer markets, and they're like, oh, I'm so busy, I got so many clients, I can't handle anymore. And then the fall market rolls around, and you're like, shoot, I have no clients. My business is dead. Like, all right, well, that's because you didn't do any lead generating in the previous months to keep your business flowing all the time. The lead generating you're doing now, especially in the fourth quarter as we do our business plan, that is what's going to generate business for you in the first quarter of next year. The reason we have to do this now is because those people that we're working with now, chances are a lot of them are not going to be moving for the first quarter. Pretty much November 15th is like pretty much November 15th is like the end of your year, ballpark. So stuff that you put under contract after November 15th, most likely it's closing in January or after, right? I'm not saying that it won't close in 30 days, but like on average, closings are about 45 days or so. So November 15th, if you haven't gotten everything under contract before November 15th that you want to close in December, you're going to miss out on that. So just remember that your year ends November 15th and the new year starts at that point. Passive lead generation does not bring a paycheck as quickly as proactive lead generation. Okay, we all know that we have to be proactive with lead generation. We have to be doing it consistently. All right, let's get into the numbers. You asked about the numbers. We're going to get into the numbers now. So there's two types of leads that we talk about here at Keller Williams. It's nets and haven't met. So nets are people that you've met, that you've had a conversation with or an interaction with. Haven't met are people that you haven't met. I can't explain that any other way. All right. So we talked about being prospecting based and marketing enhanced. So let's make a couple assumptions now in this math. So I'm going to help you figure out cost of things. So let's say that in the MRA model of expenses as it relates to your top line revenue, about 10% of your gross commission income should be spent towards lead generation costs. Ballpark. I think it's 9.2. Let's just say 10%. Okay. So if you're making $100,000, if you have $100,000 of gross commission income, that should be $10,000 a year to spend towards lead generation costs. Now let's say the assumption is the average cost of a touch is 50 cents. Okay? So just using that math, here's how it goes. So we have column on the left and a column on the right. The column on the left is your net. So the goal is 36 sales. Okay? So in order to do 36 sales, you have to talk to 216. You have to have 216 people in your net database. So here's how you get that. So every 12 people in your net database. So for every 12 people that you met that are in your database that you market to 33 times a year. So 33 touches, 33 touch campaign. That should equal 2 sales. So I don't know why it's done like that, but 12. Basically, every 12 people equals 2 sales, so every 6 people equals 1 sale. I don't know why it's done like that, but every 6 people equals 1 sale, every 12 people equals 2 sales. So what we do is we take the 33 touch program, the 33 touches, times 12 months, that's 396 touches for your clients. That should equal 2 sales. Okay, you guys with me so far? So 396 touches a year, times 50 cents on average is what it costs for each one of the touches that you have on average. That's $198 that you should spend for two sales, or $99 per sale should be your cost of the sale. So if you want to do 36 sales, you need to have 36 sales times 12 people, which produce 2 sales, 12 by 2. That's 216 people in your net database. So these 216 people in your net database to equal 36 sales. Now 36 sales times $99 a sale, it will cost you $3,564 per year to generate those 36 sales from your net database. Does that make sense? Okay, this does not factor in the 8x8 program. So you asked the question about how many times. You want to be going, people you just meet, you want to put them on the 8x8 program. So 8 touches over an 8-week period. Okay, that's the touch program. That's not necessarily the follow-up, but that's the touch program. So basically 1 a week. 1 a week on the sending them something. We're going to get into that in 1 second. All right, so that's your MET. That's your MET goal. So let's talk about haven't met goal. So the haven't met, the ratios are not quite the same. So obviously if you haven't met somebody, the ratios are going to be way higher. If you met somebody, the chances of converting are going to be way lower. Obviously 6 to 1 on this example. For haven't mets, the ratio is 50 to 1. So for every 50 people in your haven't met database, so let's talk about that for a second. Who would be in your met database? Sphere, S customers, open house people, family, right? That's your Met database, people you met. Haven't met, who would be in your haven't met database?
Strangers?
Yeah, but who? Target that down for me, obviously strangers, but who?
Geographic farming.
Geographic farming, exactly. Prospecting around an open house, or you want to target a certain
Just
neighborhood.
listed, just sold calls.
Just listed, just sold, exactly. Stuff like that, those are the people you have. Obviously, the strangers, you don't know who they are, but you're gonna be marketing to them. So you have to have 50 people in your database to get one deal out of it. That's the ratio of that. And some people say it's even higher than that now, but that's the ratio that the MRA model uses. So every 50 people you have in that database, marketed to 12 times a year. So this is your 12 direct mail campaign. That should equal one sale. So for every 50 people, you're marketing to them 12 times a year or one time per month. So 50 people times 12 times a year, that's 600 touches, 600 total touches for one sale. 600 touches for one sale. Okay, so 600 touches, we said the cost of sale is 50 cents on average. So that's $300 per sale will cost you for having that database to get one sale. So if you want 36 sales in this example, you need to have 36 sales times 50 people. That's 1,800 people in your HavenNet database. So you have to have 1,800 people in your HavenNet database. So in order to achieve 36 sales that you want. And the cost of that is 36 sales times $300 per sale. So you have to spend $10,800 on your HavenNet database to get those 36 sales. That makes sense so far?
So these are two separate scenarios.
Two separate scenarios, yeah. That means 100% of your 36 deals are going to come from HavenNet, or 100% is going to come from the people you met in this example.
So you can technically do 72 deals.
You can technically do 70, right, if you did equal. Here's the breakdown how it works. I'm going to come back to this one in a second, but let me come back to that in 1 second. Let me go to this first. So, systematically marketing to your database. So I'm just going to go into each of these programs a little bit more so you understand what they're going to get.
Did you say you're gonna send us this slide deck?
I will if you email me, or if you email Mackenzie, she can send it to you.
Okay, cool, thank you.
I'm happy to send this to anybody that wants it. So real estate's a contact sport, and it's a close contact sport, and, you know Bob Lucido is here, he said face-to-face, belly-to-belly. That's what this business is all about. So, we're talking about every 12 people in your net database, would you market to 33 times a year, which is your 33 touch program, you can reasonably expect to net 2 sales from that. 1 referral and 1 repeat client. That's how that that's why they say it's 2 sales. I forgot. One repeat, and 1 referral. Right? That's why it's not 16. One repeat. So this is your most cost-effective form of lead generation. Obviously, the people that you know, it's going to cost them least. Again, for every 50 people in your HavenNet database that you market to 12 times per year, you can expect to get 1 sale. Here's the 3 programs. You have the 8x8 program. So the 8x8 program is anyone you know or meet, this is your net group, first goes into your 8x8 program. This is the first program of your marketing plan that you're putting them on. So you have to decide what the program is going to be. Now, Keller Williams has a whole bunch of examples of what this could be. I would recommend just following that, but if you want to be creative about it, this is the 8 things that you're going to do or send out to these people. So the 8x8, it's a high impact, high saturation technique that puts you in the #1 position in the minds of everyone in your contact database within an 8-week period. Okay, so it's 8 pieces of value in 8 weeks. So basically one per week. Next is the 33 touch program. So the 33 touch program, this is more systematic. This is a systematic marketing and prospecting technique that ensures year-round contact with all of your prospects, all of your customers, past customers, and everybody in your database. So 33 times sounds like a lot to market to 1 person in the course of the year, right? I don't know, does it?
Yes.
No? Okay.
Actually, the cost of those are going on like 12 times.
Okay. So does anybody do more than 33 times per year per person? Because the new MRA model, when that comes out, I think that's going up to 37 or 39 touches. So they found through research that it takes more than 33 touches to stay in front of people. So what is 33 touches? It's a combination of a lot of things. It could be a phone call, checking in. It's really pieces of value. It can be a quarterly market report. It could be inviting them to an event, it can be birthday cards, it could be Happy 4th of July, Happy Holidays, like, it could be a number of different things, but 33 times a year, you're sending stuff out to them, because if you only send stuff out one time a year, trying to time it perfectly for when they're ready to buy or sell a house, you're gonna miss the mark. By doing it 33 times a year, you always are in front of them, so when the time comes for them to buy or sell a house, you stand the best chances of being in front of them and being top of mind when they're ready to do that. That's why you're doing it so often, so you don't have to sit there and try to figure out the timing of that. Next program is the 12 Direct. So this is, again, the systematic method of working with your haven't met portion of your database. And that stands for 12 direct mail pieces mailed out annually, so one per month, every month. So the key with these programs is who's been doing this for less than a year? These programs. First of all, who follows these programs? Okay. How long have you been doing this for?
Real estate?
No, how long have you been doing these programs?
I've been at Keller Williams for 7 years now,
Okay,
since
so
the beginning.
you've been doing it for a long time. Okay, you've been doing it for a while too?
Just like 1 year for
Just
the
like 1
33
year.
touch campaign.
Okay, good, so we're gonna use you as an example. So you've been doing it for 1 year, so the stat that they say, this is gonna take about 2 to 3 years. So 2 to 3 years to achieve the above ratio, so.
That's a small print.
That's a very small print, yes. But that's the reality, I ran out of room on the paper. I ran out of room on that. I had to put it in. That's our disclaimer. But so, honestly, I don't have to track this stuff, but are you getting these ratios after doing it for a year? Better, worse?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, our numbers are up, so in general, yes.
But like, do you
not-
track it to like 50 to 1 ratio, 12 to 2 ratio? You don't track it like that, so you don't want to know, but, I don't know, but the chances are it's gonna take 2 to 3 years to get to these ratios. If you've only been doing it for a year, it might be 75 to 1, 100 to 1, who knows, so you can track it. What do you think you're doing?
Gotta go like that.
I'm just kidding. All right, so you asked, the question you asked before is like, hey, this can be 72 deals, or this is an all-in-one. So these are like the different options for those match and half match. I showed you the example of like how many people you need in your database for each one of the programs. So basically option 1 is 216 people in your Met database and 0 people in your haven't Met database. That will achieve the 36 sales for you. Or option 2 is 0 people in your Met database and 1,800 people in your haven't Met database. We're just getting started on it. 1,800 people in your haven't Met database, and that will equal your 36 sales. Or the hybrid version of that is 108 people in your Met database, so that's basically half. So 18 deals from that, and 900 people in your haven't Met database, so another 18 deals from that. That gets you to your 36. Or I guess option 4, like Rich was saying, is 216 people in your Met database, 1,800 people in your haven't Met database, and that should be 72 sales. You want to get aggressive with it. But the ratios that are in here are just to achieve 36 transactions per year. Okay, so you can mix and match that. So if you go back to your database today, tomorrow, and you say, all right, I only have 900 people in my database of haven't, or let's say I only have 100 people in my database of people I met, chances are you're not going to achieve 36 sales out of that yet. So the goal is every week adding 2 people to your database, or 5 people, or 10 people to your database, whatever that's going to be. I say 2 people a day is probably a good starting point. You meet somebody, you pop in your database, you put them on a marketing campaign, you put them on a drip campaign, and then you're staying in front of them. As opposed to just trying to think about who to talk to all the time, you just pop them on a campaign, stay in front of them, and follow your system.
I'm waiting for a comment. Everyone else got them when they left, so.
There you go. There you go. You know I save the best stuff for the end, right? I always save the best stuff for the end. By the way, in case you're wondering how much more time is left, there's like less than 10 slots. So we're gonna definitely have you out of here before 5. I'll leave some time at the end for questions. All right, so back to lead generation again. Two types of lead generation, active and passive lead generation. So this is just a couple more examples of how you should be focusing your lead generation efforts. And I know I've talked about this at 3 different points, but it really is the most important thing that you can do in your business planning for next year. So first thing is identify your sphere of influence. People you know, people that trust you, that love you, family, friends, people from your past life, people from high school, college, all that stuff. Prospect expired listings, prospect for sale by owners, prospecting around just listed or just sold properties. Develop a realtor referral network, we already talked about that. Learn telephone techniques, scripts, and dialogues. Learn how to handle objections. So in real estate, there's typically about 33 objections that you're going to get on a listing appointment. They're very common and they happen over and over again. If you don't know what those 33 objections are and how to handle them, you're already playing at a disadvantage. If you don't know what the 33 objections that I'm talking about are, email me, I will send them to you, and then you'll have a script that you can practice and learn and master, because of the 33 most common objections that we get in our business. Yeah,
For people in this brokerage, if they don't have listings yet, can they prospect and say, you know, you just listed for our brokerage's listings?
absolutely. If you're in this brokerage and you don't have any listings, and you want to try to get some of this business, email on Facebook, say, hey, I'm looking to do open houses. Anybody have open houses I can sit? There's tons of people that would love for you to do open houses. If you say, hey, can I do some marketing around your new listing? The answer is yes. Come to me, you want to do some marketing around my new listing, some just listed phone calls or prospecting? 100% yes, you can do that. So just because you don't have any listings right now, you have a whole brokerage with thousands of listings out there on the market. There's a lot of people that can help you out. You can leverage other people's business to start to grow yours. That's what I did when I first started too. I went out to other agents, whoever asked me the question about that, I went out to other agents and said, hey, can I sit your open houses? Hey, can I make some calls around your new listings? Just, do just listed calls? The answer was always yes. So that's a good way to start. Thanks for bringing that up. The 33 most common objections. Some of them are like, will you discount your commission, or
I don't see your sign around the neighborhood.
whatever. Yeah, I forget I actually forget what they all are off the top of my head, but I know how to respond to all of them because I've heard them all a million times before. So if you don't have them, you can email me, I'll send them out to you. I'll even post them on the private KW Philly Facebook page as well. All right, develop a farm or a specialty area. If you want to focus on a specific area, you want to have that omnipresence in that area, right? It's called the Land, Air, and Sea campaign. If somebody lives in a particular neighborhood, let's say somebody lives in Graduate Hospital, well, they have a certain path that they take every day to work or when they're doing stuff, right? So if you list properties in that neighborhood, now they see 5 listings in the neighborhood. Now on the weekends, they see open house signs all over the place. They see your signs. Now they're getting just listed postcards from you every time you list a property. Now they're getting just sold postcards from you when you sell a house. Now they're getting circle prospecting phone calls from you. Now you're doing targeted Facebook ads and Instagram ads for people that live in Graduate Hospitals. So now every time they're going through their Facebook or Instagram feed, your ads are popping. You're like, who the heck is this person? Right? You want to become omnipresent, and that's how you do it in a certain area. You just take over that area and you make it seem like that you're everywhere, omnipresent. Open houses, prospecting people at your child's sporting event. Everybody loves the mom and dad that goes around and hands out business cards at soccer games, right? We all love that. Who's that in this room? That's you, isn't it? No, I'm looking at you. Who does that at sporting events, the kids' sporting events? Come on, don't lie. You know one? Oh, there. You do it?
Well, at the playground.
That's playground, yeah. It's playground, right?
In like Washington Square.
Yeah. See?
Daycare, Friday, happy hours.
That's right. Happy hours at the daycare.
Right before pickup.
Wow. That is very smart. I like that. Other involvements, door knocking, and networkers. We went through this stuff, but I'm really just trying to hit the point on. All right. The 3 L's of the real estate business. What are they?
Leads, leverage.
Leads, listings, and leverage. Leads, listings, and leverage, the 3 L's of the real estate business. So time and effort on the 20% that really matters will deliver 80% of the results that we seek in business. So, listings. So leads lead to listings. Listings lead to leverage. What do I mean by leverage? I mean, if you have a listing, you can leverage that listing to pick up more buyer leads, more listings. You have a lot of listings, and now you're selling a lot of houses. Now you need leverage to have buyer agents that can work those, or staff people. Leads, listings, leverage. That's the cycle of real estate. So listings, seller listings mean you have more marketing opportunities. When you have a listing, you have more things to promote. So James is saying, if you don't have any listings, go to somebody else and leverage their listings to promote their listings to get more buyer opportunities that you take buyer leads from, right? If somebody wanted to go to one of your listings, James, they say, hey, can I market your listings and take the buyer leads from them? You okay with that? He's okay with that, of course. Why is he okay with that? Because it's going to help sell his listing, and it's going to help you out. He's fine with that, right? So you get to put your sign in the front yard or on the house, so people will see, you know, that you have a listing for sale. So they'll see that you're active in real estate. They'll think about you more. You get to market the listing through direct mail, email, all the other things that we talked about. You get to advertise the listing through your print media and your websites, or you're leveraging that, you're promoting it. You have more control of your time if you have listings. So back to the schedule thing again. Early on in my real estate career, I decided that I wanted to be home for dinner, 6 o'clock every night-ish, not work on the weekends. I wanted to, be there with my kids, my family. I made that decision. So did I miss opportunities? Of course I did. But the way that I was able to control my schedule was I worked more on listings than I did on buyers. And listings, you can control your schedule way more than you can control your schedule with buyers. Because when do buyers want to go out and see properties?
6 p.m.
Whenever they want, right? Nights, weekends, usually when they're not at work. I mean, that's the reason, really the reason. It's when they're not at work, and when they have a chance to freely go out and look. And that's usually at nights when work is over, or on the weekends when they're not working. Which is the time, theoretically, when me personally, I don't want to be working. So those schedules don't match up for what I was trying to accomplish in my life, which was having that freedom. Listings gave me that control, because we can go on listing appointments during the normal work schedule for the most part. I mean, I can typically go on a listing appointment during the day. I rarely had to go on listing appointments like at nights on the weekends, but you can control that a little bit more. So that allows you to control your schedule way more. So depending on what you want in your work-life balance, if you want more freedom in your life, and you want more leverage and more opportunities for marketing, focus your business on listings as you put together your business plan for 2019. Seller listings maximize your per hour compensation. You're spending a lot less time on a listing on a per hour basis than you are on a buyer. A buyer, you might take them out however many times, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Each time might be a couple hours. You might be spending 10, 15, 20 hours showing properties, and then add all the steps that are involved in that. On a listing, you might spend an hour on a listing appointment, and then now you're marketing the property. It's way less time spent on listings than it is on buyers. Per hour productivity or per hour compensation goes up big time when you focus on listings. And with seller listings, you're on the front end of the pricing. So you control the listings, you control the market. If you had all the listings in a particular neighborhood, you really do control the market in that neighborhood in terms of pricing. Ahead of that, knowing where the market's going, whether it's going up or down, so you can control the pricing for listings. Also, it translates into your knowledge of the market. And properly marketed seller listings, of course, brings more business. Yes?
You mentioned when you go on a listing appointment, you're controlling the schedule more. So in your experience, you found that you can go 9 to 5 Monday through Friday on listing appointments?
Yeah.
In the beginning, for me, that wasn't the case. I mean, obviously listings are much preferred, but I still find that I was going after their work or on the weekends for those listings.
So let me answer your question. When somebody says to you, so your goal is to be home at night if you can? You can, right? So somebody says to you, hey, I want to list my property. Remember, listing appointment is a hiring appointment, right? So they've already determined they probably want to use you, because most of the time they're only interviewing one person. And and they've called you for a reason. They see you, they refer to you, they see you selling stuff in the neighborhood, whatever. They say, hey, I wanna list my property, can you meet me at 7 o'clock on Friday night? What's your first response?
I prefer to do during the day, but I do need to see the house.
Okay, so typically, if somebody were to ask me, somebody asked me to list a property at a time, okay, let me put it in a different perspective. Friday night, you have your child's play performance, I don't know, make something up. You have a date night with your wife, okay? Friday night, and then somebody says, hey, I want to list a property Friday at 7 o'clock. You say, I'm sorry, I'm busy at that time, how about the following times, right? So 75% of the time, when I said I'm unavailable at that time, but I am available at these times, they moved the time. They were able to do it. Probably 25%, maybe even less than that, they weren't able to do it. And every once in a while, I would do a listing appointment at night or on the weekend, but probably 75% of the time, I was able to push it into the time slot that I wanted to. It was all because of just controlling your schedule, setting standards and expectations for your client, and letting them know when you're available or unavailable. Same thing with the doctor, right? The doctor, you said, hey, doc, I want to come meet you at 8 o'clock on Friday. I would say, hey, I'm not available at that time, but here's the times I am available, here's when I can do it. And they see enough value in what you and what you're going to do for them, they're willing to usually move the schedule around. I'm not saying that you won't lose an opportunity every once in a while, but most of the time, it's going to work out in your favor. Any questions, Ben? No, you're good.
Just gonna add to that, one huge thing that I learned is by giving those 2 times, and you kind of touched on it, but always offering 2 specific times, like Tuesday at 10 or Thursday at 4, something like that.
Yep.
Just offering 2 times, so in their head, they don't have to think about it. It's quicker, you get more appointments.
Classic rich or rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much it.
The one thing I do want to, if I may, Gary Keller talks about, and I can tell you from personal experience, that when you have listings, that listing is always going to result in another piece of business. Whether it be a buyer from an open house, whether it be a buyer who calls you on that house and it's not appropriate for them, so they buy something else from you. But Gary Keller says in the NRA book that every single well-priced, well-positioned listing that you take actually equals 2 pieces of business for you. So read the NRA.
Thanks for that. All right, so these are, we talked about a lot of different numbers today, but there's a few things that I want you to track in your business. These are the things that you should be tracking in your business, and the way you want to track them is goal versus actual. Okay, when you put together your business plan for 2019, you need to set goals for each one of these categories. And then on a monthly basis, you need to look at your actual, of where you actually stand towards your goal. So here's the 8 categories that I want you to focus on. Number 1, leads generated. How many leads did you get? So you're gonna need to know that, because we're gonna back into these numbers to determine how many leads you need and how many appointments you need to go on. So leads generated, listings taken, contracts written, contracts closed, money, people, systems and tools, and personal education. These are categories that we want you to look at on a regular basis, things that you need to be tracking, things you need to be focused on. Not every single one you have to track the same way as other things, but money can be tracked in a number of different ways. It's, goal versus actual, how much money you want to make, could be net worth, could be passive income. There's a lot of different money things, like that are broad categories, so we don't have to get into all specifics, but these are the things that you want to track. The people one is if you're trying to grow a team, you determine that when you put your goal together of selling 1,000 houses this year, how many people are you going to need to do that, and how many recruiting appointments are you going to need to go on in order to recruit the number of people you want to recruit, so they can sell the number of houses that you want them to sell to hit your goal. So that's why the people one's in there, for people that have teams and are growing teams. Okay, so write those things down. These are different ways that we have to track the different numbers. So key goal numbers, goal versus actual. So most important one is net income. This is how much money you have left at the end of the day. We talked about this. This is how much money you put in your pocket. GCI, we talked about this. Is something you want to track. How much commission you must earn to achieve that net income goal. Expenses. What are your operating expenses? So the reason you have to have a profit and loss statement is because you have to understand at least what your baseline of expenses are. Does anybody know what your monthly expenses in business are? Okay, start with that. Some people, yes, some people shake their head, okay, good. So, that's the first step. Does everyone know what their monthly personal expenses are? They might not know. Okay, I'm sure some people don't know. That's an important one to know. And I know it might seem like such a simple thing to know what your monthly personal expenses are, but not everybody knows that, and you need to understand what your baseline of monthly personal expenses are. Because if you find out that if you say I want to make $100,000 this year net, and you find out that your monthly personal expenses are $120,000, that doesn't really work out. So you need to set your goals higher, but you can't set your goals higher until you know what the baseline is first. So if you don't know what your monthly or annual personal expenses are for your life right now, this is a good exercise over the next week. Go back and look at what your credit card bills, your mortgage and your rent, your travel, your school for your kids, and all of the stuff that encompasses your expenses for the lifestyle that you want to live. And at least get a baseline. And for some of you that don't have kids or families, it might be super low. And I'm jealous of you. And some people that have families and kids that understand, what I go through, it's not cheap to have that stuff. You have to understand what that number is, so you know what goals you need to set. Your goals might not be high enough. Your goals might not be high enough if you know what the baseline is. Then understand what the baseline is for your business. Currently, what the baseline is for your business of your expenses. Because if your expenses in your business are $10 grand a month, again, if you're setting your goals of $100,000 a year, it's not going to be enough to make any money. So you have to understand the baseline to understand the goals that you need to set, even at a minimum. And then, of course, what the cost of sale is, the number of sales that you need to have, we talked about that, number of people in your net database, number of people in your having that database. Okay, these are important key goal numbers that I want you guys to have goal versus actual for all of these different numbers. So whenever I see you walking down the hall, whatever you call this thing, the hall, and I ask you, what are your expense numbers, what's your cost of sale, you know what they are, right? You should get to that point where this could be the conversations that we have. Right? Hey, what's your cost of sale? Net profit? Right. How many people in your Met database? Nice. You should know them to that level where you can have those types of conversations. If you want to run your business effectively. If you don't, then don't track these. I won't judge you. Just kidding, I will. All right, career growth initiative, CGI. So, the chart on the left, this is the Keller Williams model, the 4 conversations. Which are the 4 conversations? And we talk about this all the time. On the brokerage level, we talk about 4 conversations, and on the agent level, we talk about 4 conversations. It's the same concept, we just talk about them differently. So for agents, the conversations that we should all be able to have are, hey, what are your 4 conversation numbers? At any given time, you should be able to answer that. Maybe that's a better thing for us to be talking about, 4 conversations instead of all this other stuff, right? So the 4 conversation numbers in your business are appointments. You set this per month, right? You track it for a year, but you set it per month, right? Appointments, listings. So how many appointments did you go on? How many listings did you get? How many closings did you have? And how much profit did you make? They're the 4 conversations. So from the brokerage level, 4 conversation numbers are, how many recruiting appointments did we go on? How many people joined the brokerage? How many net agents are joining the brokerage? Like people that are here, people that left, and what's the profit? Right? This is the things that we want to focus on. This is the things that you want to focus on in your business too. How many appointments, how many listings, how many closings, how much profit? Now between 2 and 3, so you have appointments, then you get listings. Then the wall of value is what you do. Right? That is what separates you from getting a listing contract to getting a sale. Right? That's what gets you over the hump of actually being able to get to that profit. That's what you do to sell a house. That's your unique value proposition. That's your marketing strategy. That's all the things that we went through in the previous 3.5 hours so far. So listing appointments, that's listing appointments. That's the initial lever in achieving your profit goal. Listing appointments lead to listings taken. Listings taken, which is number 2, are your high leverage, maximum earning opportunity that also generate buyer business. Okay, listings taken lead to closed transactions in both listings and buyers. And then you get over the wall of value to get to closings, listing and buyer closings, and that's closed transactions, both listings and buyers, and it's essential to generate gross commission income, GCI. Closings are the result of listings taken plus your value that you're gonna provide. And then last but not least is the profit, and when you strategize to achieve a gross commission income, that after estimated taxes, cost of sale, and expenses is sufficient to generate the profit you need to fund your life, your chosen lifestyle. You're building a healthy, thriving business. Profit equals gross commission income minus taxes, minus cost of sale, and minus expenses. That's your net profit. Okay, so 4 conversations. If you think about like all the numbers that we talked about, and a lot of numbers to talk about, this is a good one to like know in your head at all times. If there's one thing to remember, you only want to pick one. This is a good one. You want to pick more than one. All right, focus on 3 simple steps. So the bigger you want your business, the narrower your focus needs to be on what matters. You can't be all things to all people. There's many times in my career that I try to be all things to all people. You know, people call me up and say, hey, I got this commercial property in Northeast Philly. Can you sell this for me? I'm like, yeah, I can sell that for you. I know nothing about Northeast Philly or commercial properties. I would say yes to it, right? And we would take the listing, maybe we'd get lucky and sell it, and most of the time we didn't know what the heck we were doing. I was trying to be all things to all people. People would say, hey, can you list my commercial space for rent? And I would say yes. That's not what I do. I don't do commercial leasing, but I would say yes to it. I realized after a while, you can't, in this business, you can't be all things to all people. You have to focus on what it is you're going to do. If you're going to focus on, this is talking about the target market, the target people that we want to do. If you're going to focus on luxury listings, then focus on luxury listings, refer the other stuff out. If you're going to focus on Philadelphia, don't take a listing in Reading, Pennsylvania. Okay, I know we can do it, we're licensed to do it, but we don't know that market. Focus on what it is that you want your business to do, and keep your focus narrow. Don't try to have such a wide focus and do everything. The narrower your focus, the bigger your business is going to get. So, number 1, create a personal plan and make a process for your focus. So seeking mastery is a process and a path, and it's not an event. We've talked about this many times over the last couple of years. So staying on the path and working from the process, that becomes your main focus. And don't let the goals become the ceiling for future achievement. So you want to set really big goals. We talked about this in the beginning. Don't just set goals that you know you're going to hit. Set big goals, and then we're going to come up with a plan of how to achieve that, right? The bigger your goals, the bigger your plan has to be. And time block to get your focus. If everyone has the same amount of time, then success at a high level isn't about how much time you have, but rather how you use that time. We all have the same number of hours in the day, same number of hours in a month that we work. Some people get more done in the same amount of time. Why? Because they are more focused than other people. Business versus busyness. A lot of times I see people so busy all the time, always running around, I'm so busy, they never get anything done. So don't confuse busyness with business. They're 2 totally different things. And last, number 3, get accountability to keep your focus. Getting focus is easy, but keeping it over time is not. I always go back to the gym example. How many times, especially like after the new year, we say, make that new year resolution that I'm going to go to the gym and I'm focused, I'm going to the gym, like 2 weeks go by and I'm not going to the gym. You lost your focus and you're out. It's about staying committed over time. That's the hard part. So be comfortable with the boredom of mastery. Who in here has an accountability partner? A couple people? And what does that do for you?
Forces me to do what I said I'm gonna do.
What does it do for you?
Let me not screw around, I'm wasted, or
That's like,
stop bullshit.
you can say that here. You can say that. Nobody's watching.
It increases my productivity, because a lot of times when we know somebody's looking at us, like you see somebody on the email versus just you and them being on the phone or doing an email alone. As soon as you put somebody in CC, all of a sudden that thing you've been asking for magically pops up in your inbox.
What's another word for accountability? Guilt starts with setting goals. This is the whole accountability feedback loop. So, set goals. Then number 2, do the key activities that you said that you're going to do. Measure the results. That's what we talked about with tracking your numbers. Evaluate the process. Did I hit my goals? Did I not hit my goals? Make adjustments. Right? We talked about if I didn't hit my goals in the previous month, and make adjustments and move that to the next month. We're talking about the working out example. Hey, I didn't work out enough. I need to work out more the next month. And that's the accountability feedback. Set goals, do the key activities, measure results, evaluate the process, and then make adjustments and keep that cycle going again. Accountability is a process you do with someone else. Okay, it's hard to keep yourself accountable. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's not ideal. You want to have accountability from somebody else. It's hard over time to keep yourself accountable through some of the tougher goals. Accountability is about defending your activities to an objective observer. So you might think that you're going to the gym every day, but your results are not showing it, right? Your results are not showing that you're going to the gym every day, or you're not eating right, or you're saying you're prospecting every day, but you're not selling any houses, so you're not taking any listings. So somebody needs to hold you accountable, and to use Amber's language, kick your ass, right? I'm the first too. You need somebody that can keep you in check, basically. You have to keep track of your numbers. Your goal number may be the target, but they mean nothing if you're not taking regular measurements of the progress towards them. So at any given point in the game, you have to know the score. You have to know the score of your game, you have to know the score of your business, and how far ahead or how far behind you are in your business. If you're not keeping score, you don't know if you're ahead or if you're behind. For those of you that watch sports or play sports, how do teams know whether they're winning or not? They look at the scoreboard, right? They can see whether they need to score more points or not. Or on football, they know whether they need to go into a more aggressive prevent defense or a more aggressive offense, or if they're trying to kill time on the clock. You know, if you don't know the scores of your business, you don't know how to operate your business and what position you need to do to make those adjustments. And accountability is about getting and using feedback. You must take time on a regular planned basis to meet with whoever is holding you accountable, to look at your business numbers and refocus your efforts. Whether it's an accountability partner, whether it's a coach, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a friend, whether it's me, whether it's anybody in your world that can look at this and take an objective view on it and give you that feedback you need. This is the last slide, guys. And last but not least, love the challenge of the game. So, you've taken bold. Who's taking bold in here? Who's taking bold right now? Okay, right?
Maybe the hand signals.
Huh?
The hand motions.
You want to?
No, I don't know.
Okay. So, in bold, they teach you that your programming, your training, right, what you're doing here, what you're learning, your programming leads to your thoughts. Okay? Whatever goes in leads to your thoughts. If you're surrounded by negative people all the time, you're going to have negative thoughts. If you're surrounded by positive people, you're going to have positive thoughts, right? So your programming is a direct reflection of your thoughts. Your thoughts are a direct reflection of your feelings, or the direct impact on your feelings, I should say. Your feelings lead to your actions, right, what you do. And the actions that you take lead to your results. So, I want to leave you with a quote. So action may not, I talked about the beginning, action may not always bring happiness, but there's no happiness without action. So, focus on improvement, this is some words of wisdom I'm going to leave you with. Focus on improvement versus perfection. So whatever you weren't doing before today, improve upon that. Don't need to perfect it, just do it. Focus on the process and not on the results. Do not become attached to the outcome. Okay? If you're prepared for what you need to do, do not worry about the outcome. Do not become attached to the outcome. Believe in yourself completely. Given two agents with equal skills, the more confident one is going to win every single time. Visualize the results first and always assume the sale. So when you go in a listing appointment, visualize yourself getting the sale. Don't just focus on all the negative, focus on the positive and visualize the results that you want to have. Don't try harder, but always work to be your best. Don't just try to work harder, but always try to be your best. Commitment is an essential part of the mindset. So with regards to commitment, So commitment isn't measured by doing the things you want to do, but it's measured by doing the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do them. This is how you get freedom. Sacrifice a few years for a life. So it's not about just doing the things you want to do, it's about doing the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do them. So if you're a runner and it's raining outside and it's 30 degrees outside and you do not want to go out and run, you're committed to it and you're going out and you're running, that's the time to do it. Same thing with lead generating. You wake up and you 5 a.m. club, who's in the 5 a.m. club? A couple people, right? See some shirts in the back. You don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. Maybe some people don't, but you do it because you committed to it, and the results that you get from it are the reason why you do it. Right? Fear is caused by excessive concern about the opinions of others. Fear is also limiting belief that we don't believe we deserve what it is we're working toward. I hear that all the time. That people don't feel like they deserve to get the listing. I don't deserve to get $1 million listing. What do I know about that? You know what? Forget about what you deserve and what you don't. That's a limiting belief. You can get whatever you want to get. Ask questions. Don't feel like you have to know everything. Just ask a lot of questions and learn through that. Learn through asking other people. And there are more great prospects than any one person can possibly do business with. So don't feel like such and such has all the business, or I don't have it. There's enough prospects to go around. There's thousands of houses that sell every single month. There's plenty of houses and prospects for all of us to do a ton of business. Success comes to the person who does the right things repeatedly and patiently. And last but not least, don't compare yourself to others. What you're doing is you're comparing your insides to their outsides. In essence, you're comparing your feelings to their looks. If you compared yourself to everything that you saw on Facebook or Instagram, you would always be feeling bad about yourself, right? Don't compare your insides to other people's outsides. People are just showing you what they want you to see, and things are not always as good as they want. So, a couple things that are not on the slide. So, number one, if you're not where you want to be, it's because you're not who you want to be right now. So, if you're feeling that you're not where you want to be, become who you need to be to get to where you need to get to. Talk about commitment. Commitment is a process and not a goal. You don't automatically get better, right? This is not just an automatically happen. You don't automatically get better. You automatically get older, but you don't automatically get better. Okay, so you have to actually take some action to that. And so talking about taking action, nobody's going to come to your house and make your dreams come true, right? It's not going to happen. It's up to you guys to take action on the stuff we learned today, to implement something new, to do something different, to get your business plan in place, and to do something different so you can have the dreams and the goals that you want. If you thought this was a good class and you don't do anything about it, you wasted the last almost 3 hours of your time. The goal today was to learn something, get a couple new ideas in your head, and figure it out and motivate you to take the necessary steps to get your plan, your business plan in place for 2019. Starting now, not in January, but starting now, so you can have a killer year and crush it. And it doesn't matter what the market does next year, you're going to have an awesome 2019. So that's the end of the presentation. Anybody have any questions? We'll leave the last couple minutes with some questions, ahas, what you learned today, and then I still have 29 minutes of your time.
Hey, sorry, I couldn't attend late. Do you by chance have something, I don't know this is about for the tracking of those numbers, like a template or something?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And then I have a question about overall focus. So was there a point in your career when you were at a point where you're like, all right, I gotta stay focused, I have to stay doing certain things? What point was that for you?
Probably like within the last couple of years. When I decided that I wanted to grow my business outside of Philadelphia and open up teams all over the country, about 2-3 years ago, I opened up 13 teams in 1 year. 3 in Miami, Palm Beach, Columbus, Ohio, all over Philadelphia area, a couple in New Jersey, UK, I opened up in the UK, all over the place. And the reason I did it was because people came to me and said, hey, we want to do a team, we like what you're doing, And I said yes to all that stuff, and it ended up becoming a very big distraction for me. So after, it took me a while to realize that, but eventually I realized that became a very big distraction for me, and I started saying no to that. I also realized that when I was like listing a lot of houses, like I talked about before, people were always asking me, you know, can you sell this, can you list that, can you, like I said before, like, can you list this commercial storefront for me, or this medical office building, and I say yes to it because, why not, right? But then I realized it became a big distraction, and I took my focus off of the core business, and frankly, I didn't really know what I was doing at the time, so, I started saying no to that type of stuff too, so I think it's never too early to say no. I think you have to understand where you want your business to go, what you want it to look like. You just at the beginning talking about who we want to work with. I think I'll send you the slides so you can understand, but just to kind of recap, you have to understand who it is you want to work with, what you want your business to look like, what you want your ideal customer to look like and to be, and then to target your business after that and to say no to the other stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, what did you guys, I think it's always good to go and talk about ahas, things we learned, because something that might have like struck you in your mind, it's good to talk about, because somebody else may not have heard that, or may not have heard it the same way, so this is the point where we just share a couple things that we learned, and get you guys out of here. Yeah.
I never thought about who I want my clients to be. As a new agent, I was kind of like, I'm going to take whatever I can get, but I was like, no, I'm not. I kind of like decide how I want to work. Never thought about that.
That's something I thought you were about to talk. Okay.
You can't effectively run your business like a business until you consistently track numbers.
Even though I know this, success leaves clues, and sometimes when we get to a certain level we think we have, we try to do this other high level stuff. But sometimes you just need to go back to the basics and follow the freaking systems or the fucking systems work. It's almost like not smacking inside of your head because the shit works. Just do it and do it over and over and over again. And the biggest epiphany I had, where it's like, be okay with being bored with mastery. Because mastery is not really this next level shit that you think it is. Mastery is doing the same thing over and over until it works.
Language coming from.
Fired up, pissed off.
Yeah, something?
Just, now have, like, making sure you're on the same page with everyone you work with, especially your clients. Because a lot of times I think I know, and maybe we're not on the same page, or maybe the page that they started with changed. So having a refocusing conversation, all of that.
I'm really excited about the migration, modules that are happening, and then like that constant the data. I did relocations before. I know like race varies a hot because of innovation. New businesses are emerging, so aligning that with the flow of real estate.
That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be a game changer for us. That's gonna be really awesome. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely somebody. Thank you for that.
We'll go over here. Yeah, we have to go over here. Yeah.
I had to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. Yeah.
So what are you gonna do differently?
I've always been marketing based and prospecting enhanced if I even got around to it. And that's like the thing, being in this brokerage now for less than 2 months, that's the biggest culture change that I've seen is on the phone here. It's crazy.
It's good.
It's like overwhelming, and I'm like trying to get into it, and like Cole has been kicking my ass on that, and it's,
Good.
Good.
Sometimes you feel like kicking ass.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having a one-pager of your proven process, just so that you have something concrete to give someone and they understand you have done this many times before and you know how to get it done without them like taking any of their time.
So what will you do? What will you do differently?
Well, I'm gonna like prepare a one-pager, and for those people who are so stubborn that you can't get the appointment with, say, all right, let me at least get your email, I'll put this in your inbox, and that, I feel like that would just really impress people.
That's something value.
Yeah.
That's great.
I really like that success is a mathematical equation. I never thought of that before. So
happened by accident. Any other?
The idea of creating an experience and not worrying so much about the result. That was an interesting concept.
Sometimes you have to dream and think about that, because as technology plays a bigger role in our industry over the next couple of years, the experience, people still want experience, right? Think about all the other industries that have disrupted and come in to our lives based upon experience, right? Airbnb is about an experience, Uber is about an experience, you know? You probably rattle off a dozen other companies that are experience-based companies, that's why people like them.
Great presentation, but your first movie opened, the airplane story, I was sitting there like, holy shit, like, I'm running around so crazy busy, and I'm like, oh, I must be doing something right, but think about it, if you're in an airplane, you don't know where you're going, you just hit like, where we're at, wow.
We hope the pilots know their numbers, right? You guys watch that show Manifest? Ever watch that show Manifest? It's a good show. I like that. Anybody have anything else? Yes?
Daycare happy hour.
Daycare happy hour. That was a good one. Daycare happy hour and then racket club, right? James Racket Club.
Success eats little things repeated over and over again.
Yes.
It's like, I
Yeah.
You mentioned that we could control the quality of our leads. Could you talk a little bit more about that? Just specifically like visitors and expires and how you know that they're more quality.
Well, what I mean by that is you control the quality of leads based upon where you advertise. So early on in my career, I was advertising on, I forget the name of the site, but it was essentially all the leads I got ended up being people with like credit problems, $50,000 leads, weren't really serious about buying a house, because this one site that I was advertising on, I didn't know at the time, that's what it was geared towards, for those types of people. I got tons and tons of leads on it. Ryan, you probably remember, actually, I forgot the name, what was the site? It was when Jason was here.
Yeah, I would say, it was US HUD, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Was it?
What is it?
It wasn't HUD Homes.
I forgot what it was. It was
US
something-
HUD?
I forget.
Something like that.
It was something like that, and I was advertising there, we getting tons of leads from it, so we felt like we were busy, but they were all horrible leads. So let's stop with this and let's focus on a better quality lead, let's advertise where the better leads are. So when I said, you know, you control the quality of the lead, that's sort of what I meant. Also, if you're going after a lot of website leads, a lot of cold leads, like Zillow or even forced registration, the conversion rate on that's going to be way lower than the leads you're going after at an open house or sphere of influence or people that know you. So you control the quality of that type of stuff. That's what I meant. All right, guys. Well, thanks for spending the time with me today. Good luck.
Anybody interested in Ignite? Come see me.